Formula One comes to Sao Paulo, Brazil for the last sprint race of 2023. Welcome to Interlagos. So after this, we take a 2-week break before the final 2 races for the first ever time on the Las Vegas Strip before the United Arab Emirates, and confirmation that the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix will go ahead and never in doubt. Max Verstappen leads on 491 points. Sergio Perez and Lewis Hamilton's battle for second place is what all eyes are on, just 20 points between them. Carlos Sainz is level with Fernando Alonso, being caught by Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc. George Russell tailing back in 8th. Oscar Piastri, Pierre Gasly and Lance Stroll round out the first page. Esteban Ocon is in 12th on 45 points. Alexander Albon, 27 in the Williams, a remarkable achievement. Bottas only on 10, a point clear of Hulkenberg, who's a point clear of Tsunoda. Danny Ricciardo getting his first points back in Formula 1 last time out in Mexico. Then it's same as Zhou Guan Yu. Magnussen on 3 points, Liam Lawson on 2, Sargent with 1, and still no points for Nick de Vries. And there won't be as he's back in Formula E. In the Constructors' Championship, Red Bull on 731 points. Mercedes now clear Ferrari in second, 371 to Ferrari's 349. McLaren are in a battle with Aston Martin, 20 points between them as Aston drop back to 5th. Alpine secure 6th. Williams clear of AlphaTauri for 7th. They're, though, in a battle with Alfa Romeo, level on 16 points. Haas joining the party, they're on 12. Let's take a look at the Autodromo Juan Carlos Palace as well. 2.667 miles, 71 laps ahead of us as well. 15 corners. In the dry it's challenging, in the wet it's unbelievable. This is a fantastic race. It's important to get a good run out the last corner then as you run uphill towards turn number 1 and 2, the Senna S. Hard on the brakes then, flick to the left, downhill, back on the accelerator as you come round the Curva de Sol, a long sweeping left-hander, down the back straight then towards Decina de Lago as well. You've got open up your DRS, slam on the brakes about 50 metres to go, flick the car into turn 4, use the exit curb a lot and then flat out up the hill as well towards Ferradora, 6th gear corner for turn number 6. Flick the car in towards the right, uphill section of the track, double apex as well before you come into the Suma de boxes. Flew in now, keep it calm, round the oranges turn as well at turn 9 as well. Turn 10 as well, a little bit tricky to get right on the brakes as well as you have to slam down all the way second into Magula then as well as you drop downhill dramatically towards Juncao as well, up through 7th gear, drop down to 4th gear, flip the car in again to the left and then back up now towards the last corner. You're flat out rising, 6th gear, 7th gear, 8th gear as well, flat out with the DRS open as you come across the line. In the old days you used to cut across the pit lane entrance, now not needed to, and that is a lap of Interlagos. Hello everybody and welcome to Sao Paulo, Brazil for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix at Interlagos. Between the two lakes, we've had quite a lot of water already this weekend, but beautiful sunny conditions. Track temperature 40 degrees, air temperature 27 degrees, humidity at 21% as well. It's looking really fun that we're going to have a great day of racing. It's Max Verstappen on pole position for this race as well. Alongside him on the front row is Charles Leclerc after qualifying on Friday. not a true representation of what the grid looks like. Yes, Max won the sprint yesterday, but everyone didn't get a quick run in qualifying number 3 with the rain coming down. So it's going to be very entertaining. Alongside me in the commentary box for this one, we've got Ed Hunter back with us on the team this weekend, and Jess Ball's with us. Josh T's in the pit lane as always. Ed, pleasure to have you back. Still not sold on the sprint races, but are you sold on what could be a good Grand Prix today?
I'm certainly excited. I don't think you need to sell me on Formula One because I've been watching it for nearly 20 years now. So I think if I didn't like it, I would have stopped watching it by now. Maybe it's inertia at this point. But anyway, I've no doubt Max Verstappen's going to win today. I don't doubt it's going to be very difficult for him because it always seems to be. But I imagine it's not going to be the most interesting part of the race. I think the most interesting part is going to be how the Aston Martins do. How Leclerc does, if he can hold on to second, how the McLarens do, Norris was being very competitive yesterday in the sprint, how the AlphaTauris do, I think both of them were quite strong yesterday as well, and also if the track temperature is going to be the same, because we've seen in Brazil, just 1 or 2 degrees up or down, it can make a big difference in the race in terms of keeping those tyres alive and operating well over a long stint. So I think we're going to see a lot of different strategies today, and hopefully not too many crashes and safety cars.
Fingers crossed. The weather is looking very blustery out there, Jess, and you've got Mercedes top on. Mercedes say they don't know what to do with their cars. Just quickly before the pit lane opens, what are you most looking forward to about today?
I haven't got a Mercedes top on.
Oh,
I've got Williams top on.
Williams. I need my glasses on.
You need to get your eyes
on the right, isn't it?
Yeah, that's probably what you saw. But yeah, you probably need to get your eyes checked, Choking. But yeah, I'm really excited for this one, and I think we've got cars heading into the pit lane. I believe Ted's in the pit, so you can come up to it afterwards.
Making multiple pit stops. You don't lose much time in the pits. It's only 18 seconds, plus as long as it takes for you to do a pit stop. It's one of the lowest pit losses on the calendar. That means that we're going for multiple stops. The quickest way is actually a 2-stop. If you start on the soft tyre, go to the medium tyre around lap 17 to 23, and then put another soft tyre on in the second stop between laps 46 to 52, that's your quickest. You could also put another medium tyre if you've got a new one on later, but it is slower than the soft tyre, so bear that in mind. The 3-stop is an option if you have bad tyre degradation like the Mercedes yesterday, but we're not expecting to see any 1-stoppers because the hard tyre is just slow. It's too hard for this circuit. But David Croft up in the commentary box while we look at the Senna S, and while I feel the spirit of the famous McLaren driver Ayrton Senna down here, what chance does Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris have today?
Well, Lando Norris we're looking at on the track currently, Ted, and I think he's got an excellent chance, even starting from 6th on the grid. Driver of the day at the last 2 race weekends. If he gets on the podium from there, I'm sure a hat-trick is coming his way, and he has got the pace in that McLaren. And Oscar Piastri too, if they don't overdo their tyres in the first stage of the stint, to start coming through and getting some overtaking done at a racetrack that's ranked number 1 for overtaking in the past 2 seasons here in Formula One. Lewis Hamilton, the stats suggest that Lewis Hamilton should be the winner today because he was on pole in Hungary this year.
I don't believe it, he stole my stat.
But the last 6 races that we've had here at Interlagos have all been won by the pole sitter in Budapest.
Did I tell you that Crofty was going to nick your stat?
Crofty!
Mercedes teammate
Seriously, that's my stat!
Here last year, starts 2 races lower than he did. He qualified in, I should say, along with Esteban Ocon.
I did warn Joshua Crofty was going to nick it at some point.
It's 14 wins from pole position for Max Verstappen. His last defeat from top spot on the grid was Austria last season when he was beaten by Charles Leclerc, who started 2nd then and does so today. So is that an omen for the race to come? Aston Martin behind them share the 2nd row for the first time ever. 2 Aston Martin cars in the top 4 of the grid. For Fernando Alonso, it's his best start here in 10 years. For Lance Stroll, it's his first top 3 start since he was on pole 3 seasons ago in Turkey. Lots to watch out for here. Plenty of overtaking to come, I'm sure. Simon.
I can't believe it. David Croft has stolen the stat I said in qualifying, and yet, Jess, you did say he was going to do it, and he's just gone and done it. Is he watching us? Crofty, that was my stat. I said it, and he stole it. I don't believe it. I cannot. Wow. keeps doing that as well.
Does he listen to your watch-alongs?
He must do, because I said it on Friday in qualifying during the red flag, and it looks like he's just stolen it now. Wow.
Or maybe, Josh, and this is just a thought, but maybe we're all watching the same sport, and it's inevitable that, F1 Statman, whoever does it at Sky, is just, figured out, come to the same conclusions you have. Nobody watching Formula 1 has an original thought. We've got to face up to that at some point, Josh. Everything we say has been said before or thought before. Even this sentence I'm saying right now, it's completely derivative.
Oh, Russell's in the pit lane.
In a roll car. A load of dust coming out the fronts.
Russell tried to overtake Lando Norris coming back into the pit lane, and he's been told off about it on the practice start.
That was the problem, Josh. You said dust coming out the front brakes.
Oh dear. So there's not looking good there as Sergio Perez circulates out the circuit. So brake temperatures still worry. Yeah, just to confirm Crofty's stat that he nicked from me. Sebastian Vettel took pole at the 2017 Hungarian Grand Prix and won the 2017 Brazilian Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton, pole in Hungary in 2018, won Brazil 2018. Max Verstappen, pole position, 2019 Hungarian Grand Prix, won the 2019 Brazilian Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton, pole at the 2021 Hungarian Grand Prix, won the 2021 Brazilian Grand Prix. George Russell has a pole position at the 2022 Hungarian Grand Prix. He won the Brazilian Grand Prix of 2022. Hamilton this year, pole position in Hungary, 2023. Can he win this race today? He starts 5th on the grid, which I don't
George
think
Russell did in the sprint last year.
That's true, yeah, he did. I was just looking at that stat to see whether or not where he started from, because Hamilton has had 3 victories here in 16.
Oh wait, did Hamilton start off 5th in 2021?
He qualified 5th, but after the sprint
No,
race, started 10th.
no, because remember the sprint decides the grid for the main race in 2021. Did he start 5th in that main race?
He was supposed to, but he got a 5-place grid penalty for a new gearbox, so he actually started 10th.
Oh, who cares? He would have started 5th anyway.
He would have started 5th, so that stat works, yeah.
There we go.
It works. Alonso's just going through the pit lane now as well, as you can see on the driver tracker. Everybody just getting into position and making sure everything works out fully. And Lance Stroll already out there at the Vedadora in towards turn 8 and 9 downhill in the oranges section. Looks to be okay on his stat of things. Martin Brundle is doing a grid walk today. Delighted to tell you. So he will be trundling about, giving us all the information. We've got about 44 minutes to go until the start of the race. Pit lane closes in 10 minutes' time, which is always a big thing as well. So, question, when do you think we'll get our first retirement? And I'll start with you with that one, Ed. Do you reckon it'll be a predictable one or an unpredictable first retirement?
He's probably going to come a cropper on the first lap. That tends to be what happens, Josh.
Yeah.
As for who, it'd probably be someone at the back, I guess. Maybe one of the Alfa Romeos. Maybe be anyone really, though. Knowing especially near the front, we got a few people out of position, like the Aston Martins, particularly Lance Stroll could be quite vulnerable. Who else is a bit out of position on the grid?
AlphaTauri's after yesterday.
Oh yeah, of course they've got Ricciardo quite high up there. So I think Tsunoda's a bit further back.
Yeah.
Could be interesting, but I was always hard to predict retirements because it's sort of you roll the dice and whoever gets hit. It's usually just not someone at the front, so we can rule out Verstappen and Leclerc, I guess. But other than that,
usually.
yeah, it could be anyone.
What about you, Jess? And also, we didn't get to talk to you much, so hello.
Hi, I'm going to predict one of the Hasses, probably Hulkenberg, I think. Or maybe, actually no, Magnussen, but yeah, we didn't get to hear much of me because of the pit lane opening, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this race. Always a cracker. I absolutely love Brazilian Grand Prix, and I'm so glad that it got announced earlier on in the week that it's been extended to 2030, and I'm so relieved because it's one of the best Grand Prix on the calendar, period.
Really is as well, and can't wait to have it continue as the car's still circulating out there on the track. Josh T in the pit lane for us. Josh, good afternoon, and what are you expecting ahead of this weekend?
Hello, I am expecting absolutely, well, good racing, but also a little bit of drama. It is Brazil at the end of the day. Our Friday drama was the weather. It was also the weather last year. if you remember back then as well. It's got the Haas pole for the sprint race, but retirements-wise, I think one of the Haas's, and well, if it's not Lance Stroll, then who else would it be? Nicholas Latifi isn't on the grid anymore, so we can't blame him.
Oh, that's harsh. Harsh going for Nicholas
Did
Latifi.
Latifi get abused enough in the past couple of years, especially after the whole Abu Dhabi thing, where he got needlessly blamed for it by tabloids and stuff? And yeah, I feel like everyone puts the knife into Nicholas Latifi when he's a nice guy.
2021 was not Latifi's fault.
I think Nicholas is at uni at the moment.
Yeah, he can go back into education, yeah, or some sort of.
Yeah,
course.
that's cool. At least he's finding something to do with his life.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
apparently FIA.
Well,
So
what else
shame
is
it's
he gonna
not
do with all his money, yeah?
motorsport, but
He could be back one day, you never know.
it could be
Maybe not
worse.
F1.
I heard he was becoming an FIA steward. Or he's going to work at Red Bull. One of the two. I know.
The same rumour that said Alonso is going to Red Bull.
No, that's not happening because Alonso even said it himself.
A statement saying that there will be consequences after this stream for everyone involved.
Well, it was Alberto, wasn't it? And Will Buxton. And Will Buxton's not here this weekend. He's mysteriously disappeared. So, yeah.
And good.
I wonder why.
Spanish Mafia. That's another story, actually, to the time that the Spanish Mafia nearly got inducted into it as well. So, yeah, that's another story for another time. Coming into it, pre-season testing in 2019 was wild. I'm just saying it's wild. I highly recommend it going back there rather than Bahrain as well. But I don't know why pre-season testing is at Bahrain, because we have to wait another week for it to go, and it's just Barcelona was a better winter testing spot.
I agree. I
just
agree
much more fun.
personally.
And shame we couldn't go in 2022. It's still locked down, so we couldn't go there, of course, when the testing did return there, because it wasn't actually a pre-season test, it was a shakedown. So we couldn't go even if we wanted to. We did try. We had the funding to do it, and then all went a bit pear-shaped, unfortunately. All the cars are now on the grid because the pit lane has officially been closed. So Lewis Hamilton is the last driver to turn up at the grid. And we are gearing up for the procedure to get underway. Why it still says lap 25 of 71, I don't know. But it'll probably rejig itself
Wasn't it
shortly.
24 laps yesterday in the sprint, Josh? That's probably why it's
But why does it say 25?
I don't know. Formation lap, cool down lap.
It'll sort itself out eventually. I mean, the race, it still says race not started with 0 out of 71, so it'll sort itself out eventually with all these.
We just haven't got rid of the digits yet. That's what I reckon. So.
Delete. Multiview still isn't on anyway either, so we can't really say much. I'm trying to see if there's actually. I wanted to hear some interviews from the post show, but it's quite hard to get it working. Because I wanted to hear from the top three. Here, we can. Brilliant. Let's hear from Max Verstappen talking yesterday with what he thought of the sprint. He's our pole sitter today, and he was speaking to, I believe,
Hi, Max. Great performance today. P1, I mean, you must be really, really happy with that performance.
Yeah, I think the start was definitely key. Keeps you a bit out of trouble in the first 2-3 laps. And after that, it was all about just time management, trying to keep the tires under control, really. I mean, there's always a lot of drag around here. The tires are sliding around a lot. And yeah, it was for a long time very close, I think, between myself and Lando. We're doing quite similar lap times for a long period of the race. And after that, the last few laps, I think I felt a little bit more comfortable. But I think, everyone will learn a lot from today, and they will apply it to tomorrow. But yeah, very happy compared to last year. This is, of course, miles better for us, and already looking forward to tomorrow.
A few have mentioned that it could be cooler tomorrow, which could obviously help the tires. Is there more to come from you if that's the case? Is there more pace in hand?
It's always difficult to tell. Also tomorrow with the higher fuel loads from the start, cooler track time. I still think it's going to be a lot of time management involved, but let's see. Maybe for other teams it works better. I have no clue from my side.
Speaking to Julian there, of course, who is with Formula One TV this weekend. The start was definitely key. Interesting that, though, Jess, because yesterday it was Lando who got the initial getaway better, but Max was able to send it on the inside line at turn 1 and get ahead. So it was just the pure braking speed of that Red Bull that kept him the lead of the race.
Yeah, I think he was meant to. He probably can brake later in that Red Bull car compared to other cars, which is potentially why he was able to go side by side and lunge for a move, luckily, as well. Shame about Lando Norris, but I'm sure he would take P2 anyway. He's going to be starting lower down in the grid today anyway, due to obviously McLaren's poor decisions for not sending out the McLarens early enough before it actually poured down with rain, and it was like a poltergeist. It was like it was nighttime, wasn't it? And it just, yeah, I don't know why McLaren thought that, but we've seen in the feature race before, we saw the McLarens make their way up the field. So who says that they can't do it now? I think they could.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult, isn't it, Ed, for Lando and Oscar to get up there. They start 6th and 10th. Piastri starting exactly where he did in the sprint race. But Lando had the pace in qualifying and should be able to have better race pace when changing tyres. He complained about that a lot in the sprint that the softs had already given up before he could even attack.
Yeah, McLaren have really got to hope that their pace on the medium and maybe even the hard is better than on the softs relative to the likes of Red Bull, Mercedes, Ferrari, etc. But we saw with Piastri yesterday how big an issue it is when you qualify and in 10th and sort of pretty much the middle of the pack, struggling to hold on to those final points, and you get in battles with the likes of Ricciardo, Alonso, etc. How much it can be a bit of a difficulty. So I imagine Leclerc and Verstappen are going to pull away in front of the Aston Martins, and it's going to come down to Alonso and Stroll trying to defend behind them, and it's probably going to be a massive train of everyone fighting each other. So I think the first 20 laps of this race are probably going to be quite decisive in terms of who breaks away from that pack and who gets stuck behind in it.
Gearing up then, cars coming to the grid. Let's head down to Sky Sports F1 and Simon Lazenby.
The FIA will allow them to change the cooling based on a change of climatic conditions, which we clearly had
He's
from
there
Friday
first.
to now. But as soon as you open up the cooling, the car goes slower. From what I understand, Carlos's car was running even hotter than Charles yesterday, so that could be an issue. The other thing I noticed, Simon, just on the document the FIA released, they've had to change the clutch shims on both Ferrari as well as some other bits around the clutch. So I wonder if they had some concerns for that, which will affect the start of the race as well. So something to look out for on the opening lap.
Yeah, it's a great piece. Fantastic access from Ferrari. That's, I mean, it's a real window into what goes on behind the scenes with such a storied team.
Of course, and it was, even for us, we work in it, we're in the paddock all the time, but we don't always often get that kind of access to the teams, to the drivers. I mean, you watch them do their engineering meetings, watch them interact with each other, and of course it's such an incredibly, historically loved team. So to be able to do that with a team like Ferrari is a great access.
What about Carlos Sainz from 7th today, Karun? What are his chances? What are his options?
He hasn't looked strong in terms of the long run pace, has he? So I think at best he's probably looking at a 4th or 5th place result. I could see a little inter-Spaniard battle with Fernando Alonso. Will have his elbows out. I mean, look, of that group, I expect Norris to be the one to clear through, and maybe Perez, based on what we saw yesterday. But as Martin rightly said, this is a completely different day, a completely different race.
Quite a different pairing. We talked about this, I think, earlier in the weekend, didn't we? Different driving styles, different strengths. The strength of Carlos Sainz is on a Sunday. That's when he gains his points.
Absolutely, and we heard one of their teammates there saying that, you know, when push comes to shove, he's not sure that anyone's faster than Charles Leclerc on a good day. So we know he's very fast in terms of raw pace and raw talent, whereas Carlos seems to be a driver that's a little bit more all-rounded, very thought-orientated, very much aware of what he's doing in the car and aware of what everyone around him is doing, and that is, you know, a very strong characteristic to have and a characteristic that champions have. So they've both got a little bit of the mix in it, so they've got to merge the two together, and then you've got a perfect driver.
Always an interesting start here in the run-up to turn 1, and there's opportunities once the DRS comes alive. We saw it so often yesterday on that run-up from Zhengzhou all the way down the bottom to turn 1 here, and then an opportunity if you do make the pass car to re-overtake coming down into 4.
it's basically impossible to defend down the start finish straight. I personally think the DRS is too easy here. It's too powerful. That zone should have been a bit shorter. But the only way to defend is to do what Carlos did yesterday, which was almost let people pass into the first corner and then get them back. Let's take a replay of the start. You can see on the second phase, Verstappen got ahead of Lando into that first corner, and then he was gone. But actually, Lewis Hamilton from behind got a good run as well, as he got off the line and got in this good battle with Perez, heading down towards turn 4, which is what you were talking about, Simon. So you'll see good overtaking at turn 1, but as Lewis showed here, around the outside of Perez into turn 4, carrying momentum on the clean side of the track, there is opportunity further down the lap as well.
Okay, carnival atmosphere, as you can see, and they're making their way down towards us. When we come back, Martin will be live for his grid walk. Don't go away.
Martin's grid walk is coming up next as DJ Laura is standing by on the grid as well. All set to go into the proceedings. So let's get the thoughts of Lewis Hamilton quickly. We'll discuss that next. Who says he's going to be a real struggle today. Of course, we've been talking about Hamilton as a possibility to win this race. Let's see what he has to say about the W14. He was talking yesterday with F1 TV.
Like a great start for you and your teammate. You guys were fighting up there, and then the pace just seemed to drop away. What happened?
Yeah, just tires overheated and then they never came back.
What about tomorrow? Do you get any learnings from that you can take into tomorrow?
I mean, the learning is the car is not great today, and most likely will be something similar tomorrow. I really have no idea, but it's going to be a real struggle tomorrow.
Going to be a real struggle tomorrow as well. And of course, Lewis Hamilton starts 5th on the grid today. Looking down as well, his teammate George Russell starts in 8th position. Okay, back up to us in the box. Jess, starting with you this time as well. Hamilton has said before this season, I know where the car is going wrong. I know how to fix it. The team won't listen to me. Now they've gone backwards in development. They had 2nd place in America taken away from them. They had 2nd place in Mexico. Ideally, they should have gone one better here. But it's all gone wrong with those updates. So what's your take on it?
I think it's down to the tyres. They're pushing too much at the start, and that's really compromising them in the race. And we've seen from the data as well, they have less straight line speed than all the teams, not just Red Bull, but all the teams. So that was why we saw like Charles Leclerc and Lando Norris get past Mercedes, because of that lack of straight line speed and tyres. So they've got to do better managing their tyres, basically. But who knows? They may do better on the medium tyres. It may suit them, but they just got to keep it in check early doors, really, because tyre pressures really are one of the only things they can change in Parc Ferme. So they can get that nailed. Straight line speed they can't change, but hopefully they can get a better grasp as to the tyres as well going into this race.
Ed, 2-stop today could help them, but they're going to have to need safety cars to be in contention a bit, I think.
Well, Sainz especially, I think what might help Leclerc is if you can stay within DRS of Verstappen, that might mitigate some of the straight lines, because obviously there's still the rest of the track where he won't get that. But yeah, it's I do think a bit of strategic anomaly. We did see in Mexico, Ferrari came undone because of the safety car. It wasn't really their fault. Red Bull just got incredibly lucky with Verstappen that the safety car came right at the end of their stint. They ran really long in the middle stint, didn't they?
Yeah.
Pitting quite early, and that was how they were able to effectively jump Charles before the red flag. But yeah, I think I do think it's going to come down to keeping the tyres alive for those final couple of laps as well, and making sure that if they're behind someone on the podium, they can push through. I think Ferrari, if they could get at least one car on the podium today, I think that'd be a pretty good, solid return for them after what's been a slightly tricky second half of the season, really, compared to the first.
Yep, not a lot. They had a victory in Singapore, but that was in a battle with the two Mercedes, with Red Bull being out of kilter. But Charles Leclerc definitely having a poor weekend. Of course, they start 2nd for Leclerc. Sainz starts 7th on the grid as well. So there's a lot to play for here for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. But that's enough talking for me, Ed, Jess and Josh in the pre-show, because Martin Brundle is about to go walkies on the Sao Paulo grid, and after that we'll be in the build-up for the preparation to lights out. We've got around about 12 minutes until the national anthem and then final parts on the grid. So while we get ready to call the race, let's head back over to Simon Lazenby, who will introduce Martin's grid walk.
Sun is shining. The weather is fine here at Interlagos with less than half an hour to go until lights out. Let's head to Martin.
Indeed, I found a wonderful place at the front of the grid. Monoblocco, I hear, it's like the Rio Carnival, isn't it? And the people on the stilts, their balloons are almost touching the start lights. So balloons out and away we go, as Crofty might say, but a wonderful atmosphere. Really electric and full of rhythm and beat, as you might imagine, in Brazil. And that's just the front of the grid. The crowd are the same. Also over here we've got Angela de Ferran, the daughter of Gilles de Ferran, and good to see you, Anna de Ferran, of course. Sorry, I'm getting my tongue tied, but Anna, really good to see you. What a sport you've got here.
Well, we've got the lovely Moloko band, and more importantly, we've got me DJing the grid for the first time, which is pretty cool, especially here in Brazil.
Absolutely. So, I mean, how long does this stack? Because it's going to get really noisy and busy here soon.
I'm hoping so. Yeah, I'm really hoping so. And then somehow we've got to manage to get this off before they all start going around again.
Yeah, all right, good stuff. Lovely to see you, Anna. And so, yeah, the daughter of Gilles de Ferran and Angela de Ferran. Gilles, who used to be an IndyCar racer, Indy 500 winner, and what have you, and a great friend of all of us. The grid kids here, isn't that great? And behind them will come the Megas. When they come up for the national anthem, you can see the little plates on the floor where they'll all diligently stand when it's their turn to. They go and hide in the pits these days, so they don't have to kind of get their head clouded with too much of this stuff. And we'll wander down. So actually the run, if you could only see it behind Monoblocco there, the run is just a quarter of the distance that it was in Mexico last weekend, just 195 meters, which is why it's more about the start and getting away than it is about any kind of slipstream down there. So that's what it's all about today, and so different to last weekend in Mexico. The safety car here just bumbling away, ticking over. A 60% chance historically. We might need you today, Bernd.
Well, yeah, Sao Paulo is always a good chance. Luckily today, not about weather conditions, but you never know.
You never know here, do you? Because it can just boil up and rain out of nowhere.
Yeah, well, we had this already a couple of years ago. We had a big rain shower on Friday. So today it stays dry. I have an early flight. I have to go to the airport. No safety car, please.
Okay, right. There's a good request there. So let's just wander through onto the grid. And yes, this is a lady I want to talk to. Marta, a very, very famous footballer. How are you?
I'm good. Better now. I'm with you, a big legend.
I'm not so sure about that, but yeah, you play for Orlando, I believe.
Pride, yes.
And the national team.
Brazilian national team, yes.
Congratulations. And you've got like a pretty unique opportunity today, something that Pele did in the past. Tell us about that.
Well, for me, it's like a huge pleasure to be here, and then do that. So a special moment in Formula One. And then, of course, when you are here in places like that, you just think about Senna, because he was like the big icon, here in Brazil. He's still gonna be, because he's forever. He's big forever, So I'm just so happy and excited this moment.
He transcended us, great sport, didn't he? But you're waving the checkered flag today, I understand.
Yes, and then I already trained a little bit, because I don't want to do wrong. I asked how many seconds I need to do that, and then yesterday I trained a little bit. Today again, I hope everything go well.
All right, well, good luck with that. Lovely to talk to you. Congratulations on. Oh, I'm sorry. Right, let's wander down. There's some interesting people. I mean, look at this lot on the grid. Do you reckon we could make a grid walk out of this somehow? and we'll wander down and see who's at Aston Martin. There's Max's car just sitting quietly on the grid. Nobody in particular working on it because it's clearly ready to go. And Felipe Drugovich here, he's the reserve driver at Aston Martin. And Felipe, congratulations. I believe you're with Aston Martin again next year.
Yeah, we renewed it. So yeah, very happy with the signing. I think, you know, being one more year with the team, it's not exactly what I wanted. You know, I wanted to be racing as a main driver, but to be reserve is such a pleasure. You know, just I think the team has treated me really well, and I think they give me the right opportunity for me to learn and be ready for the future.
These fans, they need you. I mean, there's such a history of Brazilian drivers in Formula One, and Emo always helped the next one along, who helped the next one along, but we don't have any Brazilian drivers on the grid at the moment.
Yeah, it's a shame. We need to work even harder to get a Brazilian there, and yeah, I'm doing all I can to be ready and you know, make sure I can be as fast as possible when I hop in the car.
All right, good stuff. Good to see you. I just want to have a look at the front of this Ferrari here, because with a change of climatic conditions, which is important because Q3 on Friday, if you can remember that far back, was wet. So they've been able to open up the cooling on the side of the car, those vents where you see the fans there. And also you can change the front wing. If you can just look down here, Si, at the little twist thing with the two yellow marks on it, on the far corner of the wing there. If when they come in the pits, they can make a quick change of the front wing angle, which they always do when they change different compounds of tyres. But you're allowed to do that as well in any event to change the balance a little bit. Here's a good old friend from a grid walk I used to rely on relentlessly, Rubens Barrichello.
It's so nice to see you here. You've been doing this for such a long time. We've raced together. We had fun together. So nice to see you guys here in Brazil. Such an event.
You didn't say that when we were teammates.
I didn't like you at the time, so now I love you.
What do you think? What are your predictions for today?
Well, they didn't have a lot of practice the first day. They went straight in quali and other races. I think Verstappen is Verstappen, and we know what it is. But a few surprises today, I hope.
All right, good to see you, Ruby. Good luck. Right, we're going to skedaddle down the grid now because there's a problem going on with George Russell's car, who of course took a 2-place grid penalty for that impeding at the end, on the way out of the never-ending pit lane here. Pat Fry there from Alpine, now at Williams. We go past the car of Lando Norris. We'll stop and talk to Machine Gun Kelly. Hello, Martin Brundle, Sky F1. Good to see you. Welcome to our grid.
I have no idea what you said, but thank you.
I said welcome to the grid.
Thank you, thank you. Honored to be here.
Tell us about your career at the moment. That's a puppy.
What are you saying?
Tell us about your career
This
at
is
the
going
moment.
well.
What's going on for you?
My career. I don't think about my career. I don't think about it.
Well, I'll tell you what, good luck with it, whatever you do. What do you think about our business in Formula One?
Your business is great. It's loud. Your life's on the line. That's exciting. I was in a studio the other week, and Lewis Hamilton was in the other studio. That was nice. Yeah.
Martin's trying not to laugh.
Be really good to see you.
What do you think about my business?
We love your business because there's always been a great synergy between the music business and the motor racing business somehow. You go back decades.
Can you give me your best air guitar?
No, I can't. I learned the piano once, and I know the middle C was near the lock, and that's about it.
Let's do an air piano and air guitar collaboration right now. 3, 2, 1.
There's millions. You do it. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Keys. I need keys.
Oh my God.
I need the piano.
I probably need to get on, but because we got some people to see, but they don't deserve my air. Something tells me I won't be on his Christmas card list. But anyway, let's see what's going on down here at George's car, which is here, and let's see why they've got the nose off. See if I can find out anything about what's happening. We'll go round the corner here and have a look and see if we can have a little nose in. Who can I find to talk to about it? Is it everything okay with George's car? No concerns? Okay, so the nose came off. They were doing a little bit of work on the front corner. Yeah, so far then, that actually seems to be like a bit of a false alarm. Let's wander around, see who else we can find. Oh, there's a gentleman, look. Bernie, how are you? Nice to see you at large.
Well, we're fine. The weather's good. What more can you ask for?
It's beautiful, isn't it? You've had quite an expensive month, haven't you, with His Majesty's Revenue and Customs?
What happened to them?
Yeah, I don't know. I think you looked after them for a while, but yeah, everything good with you?
Yeah, everything's fine. Yeah.
Good to see you on the grid.
And it's good to be here, really. Maybe I'm surprised to be here.
Yeah, well, okay, maybe you
I'm very happy to be here.
We're very happy to see you, of course, Mr. Formula One from a very long time ago. Have a good day, Bernie.
Thank you, and you.
All right, good stuff. You know, so Bernie's obviously been in trouble with the Inland Revenue. He said some strange things over the years. We've known him decades, but I think I could safely say if it wasn't for him putting this all together many decades ago, I'm not entirely sure we'd be here, any of us would be here today. So yeah, he says some things I just wish he hadn't said, but we all still actually appreciate, because we, you know, we've been able to find our way in and through Formula One, because it got. Let's have a. I nearly lost my kit there. Sorry, I'm interrupting somebody else's grid walk. How are you? Right, let's have a look and see if we can find somebody from Ferrari. Fred, how are you doing? Everything good? You've been able to sort the cooling out a little bit?
Yeah, but with the regulation, we are allowed to change configuration, and I think we are on the safe side for today.
Good stuff. So you think you'll have a better race car maybe than yesterday in the sprint?
Yeah, I think the most important is also to have clean air and to have a proper stint. And yesterday we are fighting a little bit into the field, and then you damage the tires and so. But with the position of Charles, I hope that it will be a bit more.
All right, good stuff. So you're in quite a big fight, aren't you, in the Constructors' Championship? But you must be with Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah, for sure. It's our target for the end of the championship, but I think it would be a mistake today to be focused on them. We have to be focused on ourselves and on our race, and not to try to shadow them or something like this. The gap is still big into the championship, and we have to be aggressive.
Forza Ferrari. Have a good day. Right, let's see who else we can find. And
National Anthem, Martin.
There's another ex-driver I want to have a chat with. There's another man. I've got 30 seconds, Felipe. Sorry to interrupt you. Really good to see you on the grid. I mean, you've had some emotional times on this grid.
This grid is the most emotional grid for me after everything that I passed here. And it's great to be here to see friends like you and like, you know, many people. And I'm sure it's going to be a nice race to watch.
All right, good stuff. We're heading towards the Brazilian national anthem, so lovely to see you on the grid. And a good time for me to shut up and get to the combox.
Virador em Pirangas, margens plácidas. Conseguimos conquistar com braço forte. Em teu seio, ó liberdade, desafia nosso peito à própria morte. Ó pátria amada, idolatrada, salve, salve. Brasil de um sonho intenso, um raio vívido, de amor e de esperança a terra desce. Se em teu formoso céu risonho e límpido, a tua própria natureza. És bela, és forte, impávido, colosso, e em teu futuro espelha essa grandeza. Terra dourada, entre outras mil, és tu, Brasil, ó pátria amada. Dois filhos desde solo, és mãe gentil, pátria amada, Brasil.
Quick word with
I've never known them have to restart the national anthem so many times. 3 separate occasions. Let's hear from Oscar Piastri.
pace in that car. What's possible today, do you think?
Yeah, I think the pace has been good. Learned a lot from yesterday. I think the pace has been pretty good on my side. Just haven't been able to put it together. So see what we can do.
You got a bit stuck in traffic yesterday. Obviously, Lando showed really strong pace. How much did you learn from the other car?
A lot. I mean, clearly the pace is there. I know what I need to work on for today, and yeah, hopefully we can go forward.
Thanks, Oscar. Appreciate it.
Yeah, there's an awful lot of Queen music in the background. Rachel's with
A
Max.
few times there. Are you checking the pit lane entry and how it's going to be? Are you thinking strategically it'll be a challenging one, this one?
No, but we have enough fuel for this race, so that's why you can sometimes do more laps, sometimes less.
And what are your thoughts on this race today? Nobody's been able to match your pace. How do you, I mean, where's the competition going to come from? Where's the challenge going to come from today, do you think?
I think a lot of people learned from yesterday, so I definitely expect a lot more people to be close today.
Well, as it so often is, a clean start for Max, and that's a real positive. It's going to be very, very hard to catch if that's the case.
Yeah, well, from what we saw yesterday, he seemed to be managing the pace for quite a lot of the race, and then at the end, he let the gates open and he just kind of ran away. So I think if the others want to get a jump on him, they need to do it in the opening stint, right at the beginning, hopefully on this first lap.
Everyone's saying we will rock you as well, but let's get the thoughts of our punches team as we've got a few minutes to go at the moment. Yeah, starting with you, Ed. That was, I think, some of the best and maybe some of the worst of Martin's grid walk ever, bumping into loads of dodgy characters along the way, and it was definitely hilarious.
Went up to the footballer Martin and said, "Oh, you've got the." Oh, are my feet backing a bit?
Hang on. Try now.
Okay, yeah, I'll keep talking then. But when he talked to Martin, it reminded me of Martin Redden's grid walk years gone by, where he said to Kimi Räikkönen, "Oh, you missed the presentation by Pele."
Yeah.
And Kimi gave a very typical response. I wondered if you got the honour of a presentation that Kimi Räikkönen isn't there for to see. Which is the same this year as it was back in 2006 or whatever. But yeah, Machine Gun Kelly gave a very odd interview, and I skipped. I think maybe he'd had a bit too much to drink or inhaled some sort of substance because he didn't seem to be thinking clearly at all.
I think several people did.
Is there a list of celebrities that want to be interviewed?
There is. Will Buxton usually sends it out as well, so they're on it. And they should get it. And I think Machine Gun Kelly just had a little bit too much.
Very put out that Martin didn't air guitar with him.
I know.
How are you supposed to do that?
It's
while holding a
ridiculous.
microphone?
He's got a microphone on and all that equipment. He nearly lost it as well.
Yeah.
And then
Really
Bernie. Interviewing Bernie Eccleston on the grid. I mean, that's quite controversial these days as well.
Brave of Martin to make a joke about him owing money to inland revenue.
Yes, it was. And then I think he was just all going up there. And then as well, I found it hilarious with Machine Gun Kelly putting a microphone into him and then not talking, just not saying anything, as you said, Ed. And then it looked like he was on something. And then the national anthem, 3 times they had to restart it because the mic failed. And it was a very beautiful national anthem in the end. But
it was beautiful once it got going, but
Once it
it was
got
annoying that we had the opening like 3 times.
I was for the kid on the ukulele.
Yeah. I'm starting to miss the days where we had, proper national anthems done by everybody, because we've had a couple of crazy ones this year. British Grand Prix, I think, was absolutely horrendous. Sao Paulo goes second. The best one, I think, was Austria with the Rock Edition last year. I thought that was brilliant. That was such a powerful
What about
atmosphere.
Sam Ryder in Britain last year?
Yeah, he was good. Sam Ryder was good last year.
He was brilliant.
Yeah.
He should come back next year. He's amazing.
I don't think, however, this who sang it this year? Can't remember. It was an actor, wasn't it?
Wasn't it
I can't remember, to be honest.
Ed's got memory
yeah,
lane.
the guy from Band of Brothers.
Yes.
The other stuff.
Whoever he was.
yeah.
Whoever he was, yeah. I can't quite remember. But we are about to get underway with a few minutes to go until the national anthem. Well, that's over, but 2 minutes to go until the World Feed introduction gets going. Just a quick reminder that we are live on USRN for this one on the radio broadcast. Hello to everyone listening in there. We're live on Twitch. Hello, everybody. And on YouTube as well. And fingers crossed everything is going well. I want to say happy bonfire night to everybody. Guy Fawkes night in the UK celebrating. I know our fireworks are due off just after the race at around about 7 o'clock. So that's going to be fantastic.
Keep your pets safe.
Yep, keep
please.
pets safe and keep them out the way of everything as well. I know in our area there's no pets, luckily, as well. So there's always quite a couple of them going around. Although many people seem to have started doing them early, which is a disappointment. Okay, time for Pick a Winner. Josh T's in the pits. Josh, who's your Pick a Winner for this race?
Max Verstappen.
Good call. Jess, who are you picking?
I'm going to go for Lewis Hamilton.
Ed, welcome back. Who are you picking?
I've got to be consistent with what I said earlier, so I'm going to go with what Josh T said and go Max Verstappen.
I'm going to go...
You're not going bold.
I'm going to go very bold, and I'm going to go for Lando Norris starting 6th on the grid. I think there's going to be something there in that McLaren.
Not bad.
Here it comes then. It is the 40th anniversary of the Brazilian Grand Prix here at Interlagos as well. Great memories have been made here over the years. Let's see if we can make a couple more. Stand by. Your commentators, myself, Josh Birch, Ed Hunter, Jess Ball, and Josh T in the pits. Here it comes then. The Brazilian Grand Prix at Sao Paulo.
Are you okay?
Laranjinha, pinheirinho, bico de pato.
Lewis Hamilton makes contact with Alex Albon.
Mergulho, junção.
He's been right on the ragged edge. Is that clock going slowly? It is, it's clock.
Café.
Oh, that's a big shunt for Mark Webber.
Subida dos boxes.
Oh, Max Verstappen.
Oh, I think went a bit higher there. Well held, Max. Well held.
Arquibancadas. Gran Prêmio de São Paulo.
We're all set to go then for the 40th anniversary edition of the Sao Paulo Grand Prix, more commonly known as the Brazilian Grand Prix. The Autodromo Juan Carlos Palace, it's Interlagos, between the lakes. Today, however, no sign of water. Track temperature 48 degrees, air temperature at 20 degrees, wind speed 2.49 kilometres, 59% humidity. Not bad in this side of the world as well. It's our final round of a 3 triple header in 2023. 2-week break before the season rounds out Vegas and Abu Dhabi. But this circuit is awesome. 4.309 kilometres, 71 laps ahead of us. Top speed over 210 miles an hour. And it is fast. Elevation change, the highest 42.98 metres from turn 1 at the Senna S all the way down to turn 5 at Decina de Laga. But if you're Max Verstappen and Esteban Ocon, you've got history. Ocon trying to unlap himself and Verstappen leading the way. Arguably, Verstappen could have given way, but Ocon shouldn't have been in that position. 2014 was an interesting move. Kvyat versus Perez on the inside line. Kvyat diving through. Perez couldn't do a thing. Had to back out. And running down as well into Junção at turn 12. Schumacher versus Alesi in 1994. Schumacher going on to win that race as well. It was also part of the track where Senna spun out in his final ever home Grand Prix in the Williams. Tyre compounds here this weekend are the middle range to deal with the track surface. It's the white hard C2, the medium C3, the soft C4 tyre compounds as well. Qualifying was interrupted on Friday with wet weather, so it's a slightly disrupted grid without a proper Q3. From back to front, then your starting grid. It is Zhou Guanyu starting in 20th position. Logan Sargent has 19th on the grid. Starting 18th is Valtteri Bottas. Danny Ricciardo low down in 17th position. He's joined by his teammate Yuki Tsunoda, who was eliminated in Q1. Pierre Gasly has got a group penalty. He starts 15th on the grid. They've also changed the power unit. No penalty there. Esteban Ocon has a penalty as well in 14th position after damage after qualifying. Alexander Albon 13th. Kevin Magnussen 12th. Nico Hulkenberg 11th. And all Haas 6th row of the grid. 5th row takes us with Oscar Piastri drifting off the track, affecting also Sergio Perez, who starts 9th on the grid. It's 8th for George Russell as well, with a 2-place group penalty for impeding Yuki Tsunoda in qualifying. Carlos Sainz starts 7th on the grid. Lando Norris down in 6th as well. Not true of his performance after sprint pole position. Lewis Hamilton just hoping to get through today. He starts 5th. It's an all Aston Martin 2nd row of the grid. Fernando Alonso, and only for the 3rd time this year, Lance Stroll out-qualifies him. Front row though, just as it is, it's Charles Leclerc 2nd, but Max Verstappen on pole position for the 32nd time in Formula 1. Huge atmosphere alongside me in the commentary box. Ed Hunter, Jess Moore, Josh Tees down in the pits. Ed, welcome back to the commentary box. Been looking forward to having you on a Formula 1 broadcast as well. It's all uphill towards turn 1. Who gets in front first, Verstappen or Leclerc?
Well, I was here yesterday, but just pointing out as well. But yeah, who gets into turn 1 first? It's got to be Verstappen. He sort of showed his intention of doing it yesterday. He can do exactly the same thing as we see Lance Stroll just shake his head, get himself psyched up, I guess. What's going to be a very, very pivotal turn 1 to survive, especially for him and his teammate Fernando Alonso immediately behind him. But Leclerc, I think, is going to be trying to push hard in this opening stint and stay within DRS range, at least to protect him from whoever's behind him.
Yeah, and it's going to be a very close start, Jess, as we get down to turn 1. What about the Aston Martins? Could they sneak a podium? They've not been looking that great over the past couple of weeks.
Well, they're in a good position to do so as well. We saw Stroll and, well, particularly Stroll making some good moves in the midfield as well. And he was able to hold on a few drivers there as well. So who said he couldn't do it where he is on the grid as well? And obviously Alonso in 4th. I think it was down to them being good with the changeable conditions and coming out at the right time. So I think if they want to stay ahead of Alpine or maybe some other teams in the constructors, they've got to get a good result today in Brazil, and the formation lap is just about to get underway. Josh B.
Away they go then, Max Verstappen from Charles Leclerc. And the initial launch, Leclerc actually got away better. Here's your starting tyres then. Possible for a 2-stop race as well. You can for a 2-stop on soft tyres to 20 laps, then take mediums for 29, softs to the end on 22. But if you want to do an alternative, soft for 19 laps, medium for 32, then another set of medium until the end for 20. Not many drivers can do that though. Half the field starting on both old and new soft tyres. The only driver starting on the medium is Logan Sargent, 19th. Josh Tees in the pits with a lot more information. Josh, what are you predicting ahead of today?
Yep, hello everybody, and yeah, I think it's definitely gonna be chaotic down in towards turn 1. It normally is at Brazil. We've seen some incidents on lap 1 in Brazil, but we've also seen some incidents and some big incidents, and definitely incidents with a lot of opinions.
Oh, that's Charles Leclerc!
Leclerc!
Charles Leclerc is in the barrier already, down at Ticino de Lager. No, hang on a minute. That's at the top of the hill in Ferradura. Charles Leclerc is off in the barrier in Ferradura. Yellow flags are out already.
He did it last year as well, Josh.
He did indeed.
He got started.
And that puts Stroll 2nd on the grid with Alonso 3rd. But that is unbelievable. Charles Leclerc is in the barrier. The start is going to be delayed. I do not believe it. Can he get it going? Yes, he can. But is it identical to what happened last year? He's broken the front wheel.
He's out.
Yeah.
Suspension damage.
Oh.
No,
I'm having a look how he did it, coming down the hill on the TV pictures. I'm watching, so I think he's just caught the track and aquaplane. Oh, let's have a look. He's on the accelerator coming up the hill.
Hydraulics. I lost the hydraulics.
Yeah.
Why the am I so unlucky? Why the am I so unlucky?
So
it's a hydraulic failure. Look at the wheel. He's pulled it off as well, as Ed points out. So the hydraulics have gone. Charles Leclerc is out of the race before it's even begun. Let's take a look. Look at that. Just loses the rear tyre straight into the wall, Ed. Exactly the same as last year.
Yeah, well, last year, of course, it was the collision with Norris. This year, it looked like a hydraulic issue, and Leclerc bemoaning his woeful lack of fortune. But yeah, if he didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck whatsoever. So you've got to feel for Charles there, because it doesn't look like there's much he could have done there. Like, it just, unfortunately, the hydraulics went. Not only did they go, but they went one of the fastest corners on the circuit in the infield with the barrier right there.
There's been a couple of drivers who've had that failure as well on the opening lap. David Coulthard springs to mind back in 1995 at the Italian Grand Prix. They're lining up on the field though, so Max Verstappen will have a clear run into turn 1. He'll lead. So
2 burnouts apparently.
For
I don't know
Max.
what that means.
Well, that's just going to be revving it up to get going. So we're all set then for the start of the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. 267,000 fans in attendance. Made that an extra with Charles Leclerc crashing. Verstappen on pole. He'll lead away into turn 1. Watch out for Stroll and Alonso. 5 lights on. It's a long hold, but it's action in Sao Paulo. It's a great start from Lando Norris, who's going to jump ahead of the 2 Aston Martins. Lewis Hamilton's going to go 4 wide. Huge crash! And it's Albon, and there's a huge accident, and this will be a red flag into turn 1. And Jess was right. A Haas out immediately. Sargent's out too, and it's all drama. Lando Norris from 6th on the grid takes it up to 2nd, but there's a safety car already. Huge drama at the centre S. Safety car deployed, and it is Verstappen, Norris, Hamilton. The 2 Aston Martins not getting away well. Safety car is out.
Safety car.
And there's surely be a red flag with him out. It's Magnussen and Albon who are out to turn 1. Jess, you got it spot on with the fact that it'd be a Haas straight off.
And it was Magnussen that went off, I believe. So, and that was the one I predicted. Safety car through the pit lane.
So it was a great getaway from Lando Norris and Lewis Hamilton. The 2 Aston Martins bogged down. Hamilton almost went into the wall there, coming through, and there was all drama further back. Albon made contact with Magnussen. Magnussen flew over into the wall. Albon has hit the barrier as well. The tyre barrier is damaged, and the safety car's coming through the pit lane. I would not be surprised if, like we saw in Mexico a week ago, we'll have a red flag because that barrier needs to be repaired. The same thing happened in 1993. Ed, dramatic start.
It's got to be a red flag. And other drivers have had a good start. Russell and Perez have had good starts off the line as well. They're up to 6th and 7th.
Albon's in a massive problem, so this will be a red flag. Ed, look at this start. Talk us through it. Look at Alonso and Stroll. It's a miracle they didn't come together. It was a long hold.
Yeah, they were pointing towards each other almost. They sort of converge in the centre, and Hamilton Norris just go right round out to the outside. But look at it. They're both Hasses and Albon. I think Albon didn't quite have enough space around the outside there. I'm not sure I put all the blame on him, but the 2 Hasses were going side by side. Albon tried to go around the outside, couldn't quite enough space. Yeah, I think I can't. Apart from going on to the green stuff, I don't think there's more that Alex could have done there. So it's just a bit
Why
unfortunate.
do I have my Williams t-shirt on?
Let's take a look at it. Yeah. So Albon's going to get clipped by Hülkenberg, and he'll hit the side of Magnussen. So the 2 Hasses are creating an Albon sandwich. And that's a horrible accident. The tyre barrier and Tech Pro is damaged, so we wouldn't be surprised if the race gets stopped. But Albon straight to the side of Magnussen, flying off into the barrier. So 3 cars out before the first lap is even complete. Unbelievable scenes here. And yeah, the pictures keep freezing as well on my end in the commentary box, but still. Great start from Norris, great start from Hamilton. Watch this then. This is Ocon. He's up to 9th place. Oh, and Piastri's dropped down 2 places as well. So the pit lane, I think Piastri's actually changed tyres. Ocon was lucky there, Ed, not to get involved in that melee. And a bouncing tyres.
He thought it was coming. He saw that was coming and immediately went to the left. That was quite instinctive and smart from Esteban Ocon.
Piastri has had a rear wing. He's got hit. So Piastri's rear wing's been damaged somewhere along the line.
Yeah, it looks like it as well. And we had someone in the chat that said they were predicting
red flag
on that one, and it's
red flag's out. Red flag is out again. So for the 2nd week running, the Sao Paulo Grand Prix has a red flag, and we are going to that procedure we saw in Mexico.
Wow.
2 weeks running for a red flag. I don't believe it. So that's our 4th red flag of the year, and it's back-to-back. Race control have stopped the race. We'll get a whole new procedure, folks. So it will be Verstappen versus Norris down to turn 1. That'll be quite entertaining.
Will it?
Yeah, because
Did they complete a whole lap, though? Well, the red flag.
They've gone onto the safety car, so it'll be the same procedure. So, yeah, we've gone onto the red flag. Piastri will get back into this race then, so he'll only go a lap down, and he'll get that lap back. So McLaren can work on that rear wing and get him back in the race. Red flag, though, race is stopped again.
Oscar, kill the engine. The car is not safe to continue.
Ah, well, that sort of... That poo-poos my theory. Oh, there's Danny Ricciardo! Danny Ricciardo's out too with the same issue. Rear wing problems.
No, not necessarily.
Oh, well, he's
yeah,
in the
I think
garage.
Jason's right. It's a red flag, so they park Ferme's out the window, so they can all work on the cars now. So that's just AlphaTauri checking the.
Don't panic. I know Danny Ricciardo's got damage though, so that probably explains.
Yeah. Well, this will take an enormous time to clear all this lot up. Safety car through the pit lane, but that's an odd message because it is a red flag to repair the tyre barrier. So we go into lap 3. We'll have a total. It won't be a total restart, but we will have another 5 lights, another lights out moment, and the race stopped again. Now Piastri hasn't got out of the car just yet, and I think they've realised it's red flag.
Oscar, that is a red flag. We're going to see if we can repair the car.
Yeah, it makes sense because you'll have to get a 10-minute work through.
That was an old radio, I think, before.
Yeah, so the red flag's out, so it makes sense to get everybody going. And it's a red flag at the start, so yeah, get it out there, get going, and repair the car and repair the track as much as you can. So it's 69 laps to go. We've had 3, and it is Verstappen who got the lead. Lando Norris up to second after starting 6th on the grid. Then it's Lewis Hamilton 3rd, Alonso and Stroll 4th and 5th, Russell 6th, Perez 7th, Sainz 8th, Ocon 9th, Tsunoda 10th, Gasly, Bottas, Zhou, Sargent, Hülkenberg and Piastri. Then it's Ricciardo. The last 2, though, of Piastri and Ricciardo are having work done to the cars. 3 out already officially, Magnussen, Leclerc and Albon. So, let's get Josh T, your thoughts on that start.
Yeah, well, I said that there could be turn 1 chaos. There was, well, pre-turn 1 chaos. There's Charles Leclerc at the side of the track. But yeah, absolutely chaos.
Oh, hello. I'm being told that they're going to try and get Leclerc's car back to the garage because it's a red flag. If that car can get back to the pit lane in any way, they can repair it. Doesn't matter, it's not WEC. It's not the WEC rule. So you can, if they can reintroduce that car to the Grand Prix, it is safe. So Leclerc might get going again.
But Russell got out of the car in 2022 in Britain and he wasn't allowed to start after the red flag.
That is true, but that was because he left and went back to the pit lane and the marshal declared the car. Leclerc took the car off the track himself, so if they can get it back, it was because Russell left the car and then went back to it. You're not allowed to do that. Leclerc hasn't left the car fully. So I'm not too sure what the rule is there, whether he's out or not, because there is a recovery track going out.
He did also retire effectively before the red flag situation happened, before the race happened, actually.
Exactly, that's what I thought.
He is being classified as 18th, though, on one time in screen, and 19th on the official one. So
Albon bounced back over the start-finish line, so he's behind Leclerc for that reason, because he's behind where Leclerc started.
But there's no way Albon's going to be back in the race. His car is damaged as anything.
Really confused. Currently,
and he calls the red flag, so he can't continue.
So Magnussen 2 weeks running causing red flags. Let's not forget that.
Oh.
He brought it out in...
That's a good
point.
Done. That's why I predicted Magnussen.
Yeah, and it's done for Leclerc. He's walked away from the car. So Leclerc's done. He will not restart this race, so it was a valiant try, but he is out. Where even is the Ferrari? There it is, down at turn 4.
I wonder if he was told by the marshal that he was done.
He walked away from the car and then returned.
So he can't do it?
Off, yes. So he already had left the car.
Right, let's check in with Sky.
I thought so.
Yeah, let's check in with Sky Sports F1 then. We're under a red flag here at Sao Paulo.
Mexico, of course, as well. A 4th Grand Prix of the year to give us a red flag.
It's quite unusual. I would have failed that test if you had asked me how many. I didn't realise that it's quite unusual with safety cars and virtual safety cars for us to have to abandon a race. I mean, when you think back in Sir Jackie Stewart's days, and there'd be cars on fire and drivers trapped under cars, and there was no mechanism to stop a race, let alone slow it down back in those days. But We have the red flag. We have
73. We've had the first safety car, didn't we?
Yeah.
Picked up the wrong person.
Yeah.
Caused a right kerfuffle with the
Canada.
Canada.
73 in the 70s anyway. Yeah, but so we have the red flag, we have the safety car, and we have the virtual safety car. We have 3 ways of neutralising the race. But of course, what we will get now is another standing start,
which has been a recent introduction, and I welcome the standing starts for restarts. Gives us more drama. We had, what, 3 standing starts in Australia this year. Carlos Sainz wasn't a huge fan of it, because of course he got a penalty, and with the standing start it dropped him out of the points. And the situation, if you're just joining us, the red flag then, the race has been stopped after an accident between Alex Albon and Kevin Magnussen. Daniel Ricciardo and Oscar Piastri are both having their cars damaged too. Charles Leclerc out of the race before we even got going. He lost hydraulics. So that's a quarter of the field either out of the race, or a couple of them rushing to try and get back in this race again. And for Kevin Magnussen, well, if Charles Leclerc's unlucky, so's Magnussen. Out on the first lap here for the 2nd year in a row.
That's true. He got taken out last year by Danny Ricciardo. Ricciardo also in trouble on that opening lap. And the red flag out once more. So, regroup. Charles Leclerc waving to the fans, keeping his helmet on, and doing an Italian gesture to... What's he on about? He's talking about something to communications, probably to race control to get the car back, but there's nothing you can do, I'm afraid. Omi, what's your thoughts on this then? For the Ferrari having a bit of a nightmare here.
Yeah, nightmare indeed. I came here hoping for Charles Leclerc to take the lead into turn 1. I joined the call and your first sentence was Charles Leclerc is out. So that wasn't quite fun. I heard it before I even got to see it, so... yeah, very interesting, but at least we're going to get another standing start with, this time, hopefully, Norris taking the lead into turn 1.
Remember the 5th of November. That's what we're going for now, isn't it, with this red flag? Nobody in the house is happy, by the way, because we were due fireworks at 7 and the red flag's come out to stop the race. There's Ed with the fireworks.
Yeah, here we go.
That is brilliant.
Hold on, let me try and find a fireworks video.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at
I've
the
also
start.
got one for rain, if that's ever handy.
We might need that. Look at that. The 2 Aston Martins just did not get any traction. Norris and Leclerc... Norris and Hamilton's parting ways, and then we saw, oh, there was Magnussen hitting the back of Piastri, and look at that, that's how Ricciardo's rear wing got damaged. The flying tyre of Albon bounces up over Hülkenberg and lands on the rear wing of Ricciardo. That was lucky. Thank God for the halo again.
Yeah, very lucky there.
Oh, bang. Albon just losing completely on the inside line. Yeah, it's a tyre barrier that it's going to take. Right, this is on board with Hülkenberg. Just not get a great launch.
Hülkenberg's on the left, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he's in the middle.
Got sandwiched, I think. Where was he supposed to go? That's not Hulk's fault at all.
When he avoided the tyre carcass quite well. In fact, something hit the rear of his car as well.
It was the tyre carcass. It flicked up and then hit Ricciardo. Here's Ocon. So, as you said, he avoided it. Tries to go to the inside line and then pulls out. How lucky was he? Esteban, premonition or what, as Ed said earlier on, just completely getting out of the way. And he jumps up into 9th position. This is on board then with Danny Ricciardo. Now, this is going to be a very scary image because he's going to have a Pirelli soft tyre flying towards him. He'll get sent up in the air, get flicked up. There he's bounced across the middle of the track, gets flicked up by Hülkenberg, and then lands. Oh, Ricciardo saw it coming, darts out of the way, but it hits the rear wing on the right-hand side. This is Lando Norris's getaway. So the 2 Astons sort of merge together. Lando sees an open door, dive bombs the inside. Fernando tries to cut him off, and Lando just gets it on the inside line, and he had a quicker reaction than Verstappen in terms of the whole start. So Ed, next time around, do you reckon we could see an interesting getaway from both Hamilton and Norris on Verstappen?
Well, Norris will he'll still be on the same side of the grid, won't he? Because he started 6th and he's going to move up to 2nd then. Yeah, he's still on the even side of the grid, so there's still a chance, but it depends, because we know how good the Red Bull is off the line. I think Verstappen may be able to pull to the inside early enough to cover it. Look at Lance Stroll, though. He just got absolutely swamped here. And Hamilton actually was fighting with Alonso right before the safety car was called. And Hamilton actually got really lucky here that he was able to just complete the move. Because look at this. Alonso gets a big toe down the retroposter.
and we saw the safety car board was deployed immediately. This is Perez's getaway. Now he's into 7th. He gets through on the inside of Carlos Sainz, thinks about a move on Russell, and then brakes late. There's a bit of wheel banging actually between the two Astons into that corner that we didn't spot. And Russell, again, he'll get through because there's the green flag and there's the safety car line now. And Perez will have to back out of it. Although I'm looking to see what it actually got called on the FID panels. There's the safety car board there. And was Perez on the inside? Yeah. So Perez had to back out of that and that allowed Russell back through. Although that
Hamilton very nearly got caught out by that. He only just about held on from Fernando.
Yeah, Fernando was giving it the beans, wasn't he, completely as well, coming through. Interesting to note, by the way, the clock has stopped at 1 hour 56:47. Now, order for the restart. Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, Lewis Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, Lance Stroll, George Russell, Sergio Perez, Carlos Sainz, Esteban Ocon, Yuki Tsunoda, Pierre Gasly, Valtteri Bottas, Zhou Guan Yu, Logan Sargent, and then it gets a bit confusing because then we're going to have Hülkenberg, Piastri, and then going down for car number 3 of Danny Ricciardo. Let's go down to Karun at the Skypad.
Doc, who's probably run about 800 metres in the past 5 minutes, and I hope you got your breath back, mate.
Just about. It's also the stairs that you have to go up and down. But I did get a chance, Crofty, to look at the barrier because the bridge crosses just over the Senna S, and they are still repairing it, so we'll see how that goes. Let's take a look first at Leclerc. So he's weaving around here. Clearly, the power steering was fine at that point. Then when he got to turn 6, at this point, he goes, come on, Pierre, have a look. This was Charles, your mate. Power steering, hydraulics. Anyway, Pierre Gasly's come here to watch. So it looks like they're in no rush to get back in the car. So yes, unfortunately for him, as he was weaving around, it went wrong, and yeah, the end of that. Let's take a look at this accident because that's caused a red flag. First on board with Alex Albon, who had a really good vantage point here. So he gets a very good start, gets alongside the Haas there. And now at this point, Nico Hülkenberg's disappeared behind us, but he's the meat in the sandwich. And there, bang, he gets the impact, then into the other Haas. So that really ruins both Haas cars and, of course, Albon's race. It was a hefty whack into the barriers, but the Tech Pro barriers take a lot of the impact. Esteban Ocon, as Martin said, he had a really good view of it all and also did a really good job reacting to it. So at this point, it's kind of reminiscent of Qatar. Don't forget Nico Hülkenberg. Remember that? Into turn 2. He was the meat in the sandwich between Ocon and Perez on that occasion. And here, once again, he's in the middle. He's got nowhere to go, does Nico Hülkenberg. There's nowhere on the left, nowhere on the right. If anything, you'd say Kevin Magnussen had space there because Alex Albon, as we could see, is on the white line. So there's no real space for him to go. And basically, I don't think Kevin realized that Albon was on the outside. So as we played along, there, the impact between the Haas and the Williams, he then goes into the other car and this tyre starts bouncing around. So for Ocon, he's going, oh, where's the tyre going, where's the tyre going? And he manages to just squeeze past as the track opens up in front of him. Let's go on board with, actually, you know what, before Daniel Ricciardo, let's look at Hülkenberg's on board because I don't think we've seen that yet. Here we go. Gets decent getaway, and at this point, now, you could see he's just getting squeezed. And as a racing driver, that is a horrible...
Race will resume in 11 minutes.
Guys, give me space. They don't. Contact is made, and unfortunately for Nico, that, well, unfortunately really for Albon and Kevin Magnussen, that was bad news. You can see the shower of sparks there into Nico's face. He's then backed out of it. He's letting this whole thing unfold in front of him. He's trying to avoid this tyre that's coming there, very close, and all of the debris, and he gets through that mess there. And let's finally go on board with Daniel Ricciardo. Gets the launch, similar start to Yuki Tsunoda on the left, not a great start compared to the people in front, but he's watching this mess unfold. And there, we could see the tyre is in the distance up ahead, so he's trying to second guess what happens. And at this point, now, it's about to get flicked up, there, from Nico Hülkenberg's car. It gets flicked up, and then Daniel tries his best to avoid it, but annoyingly for him, it just makes contact with the rear wing. I'll move it along so we can have a look. But you could see just at the end there, as the tyre is bouncing along, it makes the contact with the rear wing. There it's about to get flicked up from the Haas, and then we'll move it along.
And there we go. I'll highlight it there so you can see. And that's the contact it's about to make with the rear wing of the AlphaTauri. So yeah, really unfortunate. But this is also a good chance to just look at the actual start itself, because watch the Aston Martins on the second row of the grid. We've got the red flags, we've got time to look at this. Terrible getaway from both cars, and it was Lewis Hamilton and Lando Norris who took advantage of it. But I think the other one who was very unlucky, of course, was Oscar Piastri. There, you can see, we'll just play along in slow motion. I know you guys have seen it in full speed, but we'll just play it in slow motion to have a look. And there, Oscar, he wouldn't have even seen it. He would have been concentrating on the battle in front, and he would have just got the gentlest of taps, but the angle at which the impact was made has done the damage to his rear wing. I actually just saw Oscar as we were about to start the segment on the Skypad, and he said it's 50-50 of whether he's going to rejoin the race, Crofty.
Thanks ever so much indeed, Karun. Great analysis down on the Skypad. You can jog your way back to the commentary box should you wish. We've got a restart time at 2:31 Sao Paulo time. So in about, I'll do my maths, 8 minutes time, we can get a restart. And if their car is okay to do so, Piastri and Ricciardo will be allowed to take the restart.
Yeah, this is on board with Ricciardo there once again. I just want to point out a stat that apparently Crofty said, but I'm not nicking it because I've just said it. I've just got on this radio.
Okay, yeah, debris hit my rear wing. It's broken. Yeah, I tried to miss it. I think it was a piece of a tyre in the air. But it got my rear wing.
No.
Yeah, copy that.
No, Josh. He nicked your stat.
Yeah.
You nick his.
Well, I want to say it, but I think we're hearing some radio replay from Sainz in a second. But yeah, here we are.
I just hope we beat this clutch as soon as we're back in parallel. Copy that. We'll speak about it later, please.
So Sainz doesn't like the clutch. He wants to bin it when they're back in Maranello. A new one then for Las Vegas and Abu Dhabi. Are we going to hear any more radio? We're staying with Sainz. This will probably be the red flag call.
Gasly, we'll have a little listen to his team radio in a couple of seconds.
Oh, here's
time.
Gasly then. It's Gasly. So he's having a go. Oh, here we go. Here's Gasly.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah. Don't really have words for. Recharge on. Yeah, it's just one guy's focusing more on his mirrors than ahead of him, but anyway.
So not bad there from the team radio replays. Yeah, so I've just been in to talk to Ian Birch. Dad's watching in the grandstand, and I said about how this race with the red flag and everything. And the stat I said, he said, did you get that? Did you come up with that yourself? I said, yeah, because I've just worked it out talking to you. And he said, oh, well, Crofty's just said the same thing. So it proves I'm not talking to it, but I'm going to get interrupted by Charles Leclerc.
Aware of the issue.
When I lost the steering wheel, and that I went straight basically because, yeah, I had no hydraulic anymore. I don't think it's a hydraulic problem. I mean, I know what it is. I cannot go too much into detail. Then there was an engine thing that made me lock the rear wheels, and then obviously I spun and hit the wall, so I couldn't do anything.
Carlos had an issue with hydraulics in Mexico, so is this different? It's different to that?
I haven't gone into details with the guys, but what they've seen is completely different, and yeah, it's not what happened to Carlos.
And also we've heard on his radio just now that he said, I can't wait to bin this clutch when we get back to Maranello. Is that just an issue on his car where he's not happy with it, or have you both been unhappy?
No, I was happy with my car. I think we are changing the settings he'd been doing cars from weekend to weekend. I think he was unhappy with what they've done on their side of the garage, but on my side it was all good.
Okay, so finally to get over this stat, this is only the third time in history that we've had Formula One races red flagged back to back. The 2011 Monaco Grand Prix, and then the Canadian Grand Prix the following week, that was red flagged. And then we went on a bit of a run in 2021 where we had the British Grand Prix, the Hungarian Grand Prix and the Belgian Grand Prix all red flagged one after the other. And now this season here, this is only the third time in F1 history because we've had a red flag in Mexico and now a red flag here in Sao Paulo. So yeah, just a little stat for you there. And it's, I think this is, in this century, the 2003 Brazilian Grand Prix was stopped, the 2016 Brazilian Grand Prix was stopped, and now the 2023 Brazilian Grand Prix has been stopped. So I think this is the third time in this century we've had a...
Oh yeah, because it was a red flag last year as well.
Was it?
And I can hear myself.
Yeah. Oh, it's the laptop.
Wait, so
Say again?
wait, so is it like back-to-back red flags?
Yeah, back-to-back red flags for...
So what? So wouldn't Monza and Mugello count? As they were back-to-back red flags.
Oh, it would! Yes! Okay, so it's the 4th time.
Well done, Omi!
2020, yeah.
Yeah, Omi.
I mean, I
brilliant.
immediately thought it was that one, back-to-back, because there was Monza then Mugello.
Oh, so it's the 4th time we've had a red flag back-to-back then. Oh, ace.
Yeah, because we had Leclerc crash in Monza, then we obviously had the Tuscany restarts.
Yeah, 3 of them.
With the red flag.
Right,
Yeah.
list of red flagged F1 races. Got to remember the calendar. Right, I'm just getting it up on my phone. But the commentary box, for some reason, it's getting 3G at the moment. It's really, it's really poor today. Race is going to resume, by the way, in about 6 minutes' time. Here's Perez.
Do effectively a formation lap to the grid and then standing start.
Sergio. So it is going to be a standing start from everybody there. We have.
Good.
Are you ready for this? Brazilian Grand Prix red flagged. The 1974 Brazilian Grand Prix was red flagged. Emerson Fittipaldi won. That was because of rain. So that's 1. Looking further down the history, it's Canada, Belgium, France, Detroit. I think we're next up. We're looking at red flag for a long time, actually, are we? In Brazil. 87, 88. So I think, actually, this might be a bit of another one here. That we haven't
bloody hell, that was a very loud firework I just heard in the background.
I can hear it, yeah.
Oh my God.
I can hear it in the background of the shot. 1997's Brazilian Grand Prix got stopped on the opening lap. Barrichello stored his car, then there was a crash with Fischer-Keller, Villeneuve, Magnussen, Hill, Herbert and Irvine at the first corner. So that was the second Brazilian Grand Prix red flag. Then, off the top of my head, the next one would... 2003 Brazilian Grand Prix crash with Mark Webber and then Fernando Alonso. And, of course, Fischer-Keller won that race. And then, don't need to look at the rest because it was 2016's Brazilian Grand Prix that got red flags. And now today's. But, yeah, to put Omi's point
and
in...
22s.
No, last year never got red flags here in Sao Paulo.
Did it not?
No, Monaco, Silverstone and Japan was last year's. But
is that good as Steiner that we can hear?
Yeah, I think so.
Well as Albon. Presumably you can now change the tyres and count that as a change of tyre on Nico Hülkenberg's car.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we had to change tyres. We had no choice because the new set of softs was flat spotted.
So is there any chance you'll stick the hard tyre on and see how long you can go? Is that worth a strategic option when we get the restart?
No, the hard one, I think nobody will put the hard one on Crofty.
That bad, huh?
Looks like, I mean, nobody is brave enough to put them on, and hopefully we are not.
I'm sure you won't. Good, so thanks ever so much.
So, yeah, Omi is correct. I've double-checked on my own stats here on the Wikipedia page for the list of F1 red flag races. It is correct. This is the 4th time it's happened. So, 2011, Monaco to Canada. 20... What was the next one? 2020 with... Italy and Mugello. Ricardo's radio wasn't there. Yeah, 2021 with Silverstone to Hungary to Belgium. And then now 2023 Mexico to Sao Paulo. It's also the 3rd red flag of the year, but technically not, because Australia got red flagged 3 times. Then it was the Dutch Grand Prix, Mexico and Sao Paulo. So technically, this is red flag number 6 in a Grand Prix, but number 4 overall, if that makes sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So interesting stats to bring up for you up here in the commentary box.
1 minute.
So to explain to you this procedure, the safety car will pull off to the side of the track. Then all cars have now been given the command to exit the pit lane. The safety car will be deployed, but Max Verstappen becomes a safety car, and then they'll line up on the grid again, and it will be a standing start procedure. It has been confirmed. And away we go once again. What were you going to say, Jess?
I wasn't going to say anything.
Oh, I thought you were.
Sorry.
So it is a formation lap. So it's effectively going to be a 68 lap Grand Prix in total when we get going again. Max Verstappen will line up on... Let's tell you what. As they line up, let's go through the grid, shall we? It's Max Verstappen who has pole position. Then it's Lando Norris alongside him on the front row of the grid. Lewis Hamilton is 3rd. Then it's Fernando Alonso, Lance Stroll, George Russell, Sergio Perez, Carlos Sainz, Esteban Ocon, Yuki Tsunoda has the top 10. Gasly is 11th, Bottas 12th, Zhou 13th, Sargent 14th, Hulkenberg is 15th, Piastri 16th, and Ricciardo does start 17th. 3 retirements, Magnussen, Leclerc and Albon. So then...
It was nice that Piastri and Ricciardo were able to get their cars repaired in time.
Mighty glad, because otherwise it'd be 15. Josh T.
Did you get the 1990 red flags?
Yes, why?
We were just saying Brazil.
Where there was 3 red flags in a row in the 1990 calendar. Belgian, then Italian, then Portuguese.
Was that in 1990?
Yes.
Let's have a look.
Oh God, not again.
Belgium, Italy, Portugal. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Wow. So that's another one.
I'm not saying oh God, not again to your stat, Josh T. I was saying oh God, not again to the firework.
So is that? So that's 5 now. It's amazing how you can work it out going forward. I'm loving this. So it's 5 in total. Well, it's happened more times than you think.
Wait, is Piastri and Ricciardo not allowed to get their lap back?
Oh, good point. They haven't. They should have been released beforehand, and they haven't been. Oh, hang on a minute. That's.
Or are they allowed to start on the same lap? I wonder, because.
Well, they're not finished repairs yet.
They're out on the track. Are they going to come in the pit lane?
I wonder if they're allowed to get their. I think they should be. I think they'll probably get their lap reinstated anyway.
They're going to have a pit lane start. And they're not going to get their lap back because of the red flag. And they're already in the pit lane. That's what Chris Maitland literally just tweeted. So they're going to start from the pit lane. They're not going to start on the grid. So that's why they're going to be a lap down. So they'll have to bank on a safety car later on.
I swear under red flags you're allowed to unlap yourself.
We saw it last week in...
It's not on the grid, yeah.
Yeah. There's Ricciardo and Piastri coming in there as well. So, attempt number 2, 33 minutes later after a red flag. It's Max Verstappen on pole position on the left-hand side of the screen. On the right-hand side, the inside line of the track, is Lando Norris. They're all lining up on the grid. The medical cars zooming into the back. It is 15 cars on the grid, 2 in the pit lane. Light sequence begins again for the second time this afternoon. All 5 lights are on. Action again in Sao Paulo, and Lando Norris has got a good start, but Verstappen's going to cut across. Hamilton's going to go round the outside towards turn 1. Already there's a lock-up from Hamilton. Norris keeps the inside line. Russell's having a go at Lance Stroll. Hasn't worked out. Alonso takes up 4th, Russell 5th. Stroll down to 7th. Stroll down to 7th. Alonso's going to have the toe down towards Ticino Delaga. Looks to the inside line. Russell goes defensive. Alonso's going to muscle his way through on Hamilton, and he's through. Alonso takes Hamilton. How 2007 was that? Russell tried to get the toe. It didn't work. Alonso towed off the other McLaren. Mercedes, sorry. Onto Ferradura. Round the outside. Not going to work off. Alonso now under attack. Not going to work out this time as we see Perez, Stroll and Sainz in a battle. Trying to come through. And is that Tsunoda versus Gasly? Tsunoda's on the inside line.
Tsunoda?
And Gasly round the outside. Stroll's looking at the inside of Perez. Sainz going to get a bit of contact there. Nearly in the front wing with Gasly. And Esteban Ocon coming through as well. All is perfect at the start. And no overtake. Tsunoda's on the inside line. Oh, Tsunoda and Jean Cal trying to take Gasly, and he's through.
Oh.
What happened there? Because
He's fallen off. He's lost the place.
Yes.
He went off track there.
And he's going to lose more to Hulkenberg. He's going to pull around the outside line, coming down towards the centre S. Hulkenberg goes defensive. Tsunoda on the toe, trying to have a go on the inside line, gets blocked off. And Stroll passes Sainz for 7th place again. He retakes him. And Ocon, Tsunoda, Hulkenberg and Gasly all in a battle as well through turn 1. Ricciardo and Piastri have rejoined the race. Sainz looking on the inside line. No investigation necessary for Albon and Magnussen from the original start. Verstappen leads by only 0.8 of a second to Norris. He's not letting go. And this is perfect start for Formula 1.
Yeah, crucial for Alonso to get back ahead of Hamilton there, because that's really going to decide how this podium battle works out. But Norris now, he's already got nearly 9/10 on Alonso, so it's looking like much like the sprint race, Verstappen and Norris are just going to sprint away, and the real battle is everyone behind, with Perez once again stuck behind the 2 Mercedes.
I think Hamilton is losing time. He's now exactly a second behind of Alonso. so, and he was slow coming out of Juncal as they come up the hill through super boxes. On board with Carlos Sainz running in 8th position, Stroll's ahead of him. DRS has been enabled by the stewards. Verstappen does a 1:15.745, fast up in the race so far. Norris still within inside a second of him, as meantime further back we're going to see Bottas try and have a go on the inside of Hulkenberg in towards turn 1 of the centre S. Didn't pay off there, Jess, but the field, like yesterday on the soft tyres, incredibly close together at the start.
But they will start to degrade as we head in about 5 or 6 laps time, I would say. But obviously there was a lot in the thing. And Russell's been told to work together. They won't attack in these... Oh, actually, no, Russell wants to work together with Hamilton. That's the first time I heard that in a while, isn't it? Usually he wants to work by himself, but I think he's going to help. I think he's going to help Hamilton because second is on the line for Hamilton in the championship.
And Checo's right behind him. Yeah, and Checo's right behind Russell. So that 20 points, which is now 17 points, is difference. Here's the start, though, and talk us through it, Ed.
Yeah, well, you sort of expected Verstappen to get a good getaway, but Hamilton on the outside had a much better getaway than Norris on the inside. Then he locked up, and as you can see, Alonso fending off George Russell, and that backed him a little bit into Perez. As you see, Lance Stroll just about keeping Carlos Sainz behind, although they swapped positions a few times since. And here is Alonso getting the run down. The Red Raposta goes up the inside. Hamilton tries to defend the middle of the road. It's too late by that point. Alonso has got the line, has got the place.
I think...
And this is on board of Norris, and this is a little bit of a depressing sight, isn't it? Just watching Verstappen away into the distance.
You say that, Ed, but look at this. They are right together because Verstappen's made a mistake on that last lap and it's brought Norris right in. 3 tenths.
Oh, he's toying with him.
Yeah, and Norris is, what was he, a 1:14.940. So Max, I presume, saving tyres here.
1:15.547 for Verstappen, and yeah, this is why Mercedes were struggling yesterday. They were pushing too early. Norris can't afford to push early because otherwise Verstappen will just win the race again. Verstappen is doing the right thing because he has a good car. He can afford to save the tyres for later on in the stint, so when everyone else's tyres starts to die, he can go away into the distance.
I think it must have been here at Juncal that the mistake was made because it allowed Norris to get so much more speed in, and now he's up through super the boxes and have the DRS down towards turn 1 of the centre S, and it opens up now on the McLaren, and he's pulled out 2.5 seconds on him, but look at the speed that McLaren is getting down the straight on the Red Bull, and he's almost going to have a go into turn 1. Lando trying round the outside on Max. Max literally, I think, was coasting, saving the tyres, but coming through the centre S, round the curve into Sol, 5th gear, 210 kilometres down the Red Raposta, DRS open again. Lando's going to have such a great slipstream. Verstappen blocks the inside line. Lando says, okay, buddy, I'll go around the outside. Verstappen there with the better traction. Norris comes on the inside line. We've got a fight on here, but is it genuine? That's the question.
The crowd
Yeah,
were
look at the way
loving that.
Verstappen's defending as well. Yeah, it is really exciting to watch, but you saw Verstappen had to get really defensive at the beginning of CNRS and into turn 4 to see the Delaga there as well. So Norris has found himself sort of stranded on the outside in both instances, and Verstappen is really just going to try and manage whatever he's managing. And the other thing as well, if Norris keeps getting stuck in the dirty air behind Verstappen, that car is just going to overheat. So if he wants to take the lead, he needs to do it quickly.
He's backed off, Jess. Over a second now between the two, so Norris is backed off.
Yeah, that's why Verstappen can do well in the car, because he can save his tyres, whereas everyone has to push to be within Verstappen's level. So Verstappen can afford to do that. So that means Norris is not going to get DRS from Max Verstappen, but we are seeing, obviously, George Russell staying behind Lewis Hamilton, but we've got Sergio Perez right on the tail of them. But we want to see the battle for them. We don't want to see a replay, for Christ's sake. We've got a battle on our hands between the two Mercedes and Perez. Why are we seeing a replay, for Christ's sake?
Keeping my eye glued on that driver tracker coming into the braking zone of turn 4. Hamilton still ahead of Russell from Perez coming through as well. Max now 1.7 seconds, as Paul says in the chat. It's bye-bye Max. Max said yesterday he was going to battle Lando he's going to bait Lando with a cookie.
With a cookie.
Yeah, so bait him with a cookie. Yeah, well, Lando doesn't...
So Russell is not good to try to get past Hamilton. They're going to work together, really. So they're not going to... He's not going to get past his teammate. They're both going to try and defend from Perez.
Slowly.
The plan also is for Hamilton to try and catch Alonso. So he needs to pull a gap to Russell in this stint, while Russell just holds a train of cars behind him effectively.
Exactly. I wonder that's what he's doing. I wonder if he's holding up Perez so Hamilton could just go bye-bye.
I'm having to push too hard in 11 and 12. I might overtake, or we need to manage more through this.
Didn't last long, did it? Let's work together. I'm not going to push this hard. About, what, 3 laps? Not bad at all.
It didn't last long at all, no.
And I'm just worried about Lance Stroll here. It took so much curb coming through Jean Cao. It put him a little bit unsettled, but there's a nice train forming here. Oops, he's sliding as well. But watch out, because look at this. Norris is now 2 seconds back from Verstappen. But Alonso's closing in. The gap now 1.4. So Norris is backing off to save tyres. Alonso started to push. And Lewis is the gap between Alonso and Lewis is 2.9. So that it's really spread out the front.
It is.
In fact, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't it the Hamilton train this time, not the Alonso? Because it's Hamilton and then everybody else separate. Yeah, Hamilton's causing the train here. Maybe George is right to say he wants to get ahead.
Alonso's just having his own battle with Norris.
Lewis has just sworn on the radio. Lewis has just said F on the radio. French connection.
So I wonder if he's made a mistake.
Yeah. So Lewis is not happy here. And Russell's, I think he's been told he has to let Russell through. I believe he's got to, because this is not going to work out. Priority managed 6 and 7 more for Stroll. Yeah, as I said, he was taking too much curb. Coming through Fedadora, on board with Perez. He's going to have an attack on Russell in towards turn 1 of the center S. Russell goes defensive. And now Mercedes have got to let Russell through because Hamilton is now costing him. So, yeah, you've got to attack for second, but Russell's race is being compromised here by Hamilton.
And also, the DRS is really staving Russell from an attack from Perez here. Even then, the Red Bull just looks really good in a straight line compared to the Mercedes. I wonder if Mercedes is just burning out their tyres.
Mercedes have the lowest straight line speed, Ed, out of anyone.
Oh, they do, don't they? Yeah, so that really shows the tyre wear is not that good then.
No.
So, do you reckon if Russell got ahead of Lewis, it would become Russell being the train? He won't be able to pull away to Alonso.
Yes. I think Mercedes are not going to be able to catch up.
So is this it then? We're just going to have to settle in this little battle?
I don't think if Russell gets past Hamilton, I don't think it'll matter.
Unless they go for a crazy undercut.
Perez! Oh my goodness! Sorry.
I wasn't looking at the screen. I was looking at my notes. What happened, Jess?
Perez went around the outside at Vicky Di Pato.
Yeah, Vicky Di Pato, yeah.
So Perez will have the DRS if he's going to be within a slipstream of Russell down towards
far
the
back this time.
Yeah, he's too far. Who was he? 6'10"? Yeah, 6'10". It's not going to work out this time.
It helps with Russell getting the DRS from Hamilton.
Yeah. But so maybe they're going to leave it.
Now 3 tenths.
Yeah, what they're going to do here, as look at that, Norris now 2.2 away from Verstappen, who's keeping that gap now consistent. Although Norris on the last lap was a 1:16.043, Verstappen was a 1:16.272. So Norris was 2 tenths quicker on that last lap compared to Verstappen. So maybe he's beginning to push again. I'm looking at the intervals, it's not closing in. And Alonso...
It's not much... Hamilton's faster than Russell, so I don't get why they need to swap, personally.
This is Bottas. Is he making a move on Hulkenberg around the outside? He is.
He was trying to, but he couldn't get past. So he goes to the outside, and we've got Hulkenberg that's trying to defend from the inside.
So we'll cut away for the end of that.
We didn't get that replay.
Yeah, cut away for the end of that. Oh, that's it. Oh,
yeah.
No, that's Karun channel.
Did get through.
Yeah, we did get through. Good. So Bottas up to 12th. Thought it was good to Steiner for a second, but it's Karun in the Sky Race control. So Verstappen, 2.7, 2.26. It keeps changing as I try and say it. 2.233. So 2.19. Here's Alonso.
Okay, Flanders, so we're still on plan A. Plan A.
Copy. Agreed.
And Russell's having to go defensive. Perez is going to try and send it. It's not going to work on the inside line of the centre S. So Russell now is losing time, and he's dropped 9 tenths. He's going to have the DRS to Hamilton, just about. Hamilton lifted, actually. That's the thing I just saw. Hamilton lifted off the throttle to make sure Russell got the DRS. So Hamilton is playing the game out there. He's not going. So Hamilton's not going to let Russell go.
I don't think he should, personally. So Hamilton's doing the right thing there.
Yeah, just work with
Tsunoda to nick the final point off of Ocon, by the way, which is good to see. So Tsunoda starting to make progress in the single
Ted's in the
upper
pits.
carry on the lead lap.
So, yeah, and George does have the DRS when he's within a second, so no issues there. So let's see how long it is before Hamilton can pick up the pace ahead of the pit stops in around 8 to 10 laps time.
Okay, so Ted's basically saying exactly what we were. This is the best situation to manage it for now. But Russell's dropped behind a second. Russell's not within a second now of Hamilton. It's 5 thousandths off. And look, again, Hamilton lifts off and makes sure that Russell has that pace as we see Sargent, who has swapped over to soft compound tyre. Remember, Sargent started on mediums and then he swapped under the red flag to softs. He's up in 15th, battling Hulkenberg now, who is in the red flag drama. So not a great here from Logan. He's dropped back, but he's on the attack. Perez on the inside line attacks Russell. Russell didn't have the DRS into turn 1, and Hamilton now has screwed his teammate. Can Perez get back with the DRS though down the retroposter? He's going to have it now. Perez will have to go defensive. Russell pulls to the outside line, wheel to wheel stuff, and Russell goes back through. But Perez going to keep his foot in on the inside line. Russell nearly losing his front wing. Brilliant from Perez. Beautiful from the Mexican driver, and he gets ahead. And now
look at Stroll.
Russell.
Are we working together here, or are we just doing our own race?
And that is what
We're still discussing.
Oh, Mercedes, this is why you are losing world championships. You can't protect Hamilton forever. Hamilton's just screwed Russell when he should have been doing it. Hamilton basically got bored of helping Russell, and he's now sent off after Alonso.
And he can't even get past Alonso.
Say again. Ed.
And he can't...
Yeah, he hasn't closed that much on Alonso. I think Jess is right though, but it's going to be a tall order for Lewis here. And look at this, there's a big train now. Stroll, Sainz, Gasly all going to start to attack Russell as well.
Jess?
What's he's doing?
I know.
I just don't get it. I think it's not the driver's fault. I think it's Mercedes just not deciding what they're going to do at this point.
They also haven't built a great car for Interlagos this
Yeah,
season.
exactly. They haven't bought a great car. The reason why they're good at they were good at Mexico because it was a track that requires high downforce, and they have a car that's good for downforce.
Yeah, high altitude. Yeah.
Exactly. Whereas Brazil, it's lower downforce. They struggle. End of story.
So George, we need more management. Turn 11 on throttle. So that's what he's just been told, as Perez on the inside line, easily getting through on Russell. Is there another radio message here from George? I think there is. Should we hear it? Let's see if it plays.
Are we working together here, or are we just doing our own race?
That is the same one.
We're still discussing.
And that's obviously Sainz having a battle with Stroll. By the way, gap between everybody now at the front is 4 seconds. It's Verstappen to Norris by 2.2, and then it's Norris to Alonso 2.3. So they've all sort of split up in their own little bubbles at the moment as we approach the first pit stops. Feels like a sprint race, this. It's unbelievable. It's a bit like Qatar.
Sprint track, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be the track. Ocon, by the way, is just pitted.
So, George, we need more management. Turn 11 on throttle.
You want me to race or concede positions? You want more management? I will go backwards.
We do need to make sure these tyres make it through the stint. We do want to race, but we want to make it through the stint.
Turn 11.
That's the problem with the tyres. Because they can't manage the tyres effectively, they're having to concede positions. It's because they don't have a good car. No offence.
Mercedes
not being harsh, Mercedes, but it's true.
Travis is also at the point that track position here isn't going to matter compared to the end of the race. They're having to pit early and make an extra stop. They're going to be way down the field compared to if they could struggle at the end of this.
Yeah, so it'll be good. So it'll be good if they manage their tyres now, so they don't have to do an extra stop.
This is Mercedes crumbling from the former self at the moment. They are used to being dominations, and now they're just misery in the middle field at the moment. Look at this. Nice to see Aston Martin back up there with Alonso in third and running comfortably as well after using Haas's strategy from last year. Sainz has the DRS, but he's 7 tenths away from Stroll. So now, effectively, we're running into the problem we did at the sprint race. In fact, Perez, just going to say for a second, Perez is looking more like he did at the start of the year. He is right on the back of Hamilton now. He's pulled in, a tenth and a half? And now Hamilton going defensive against Checo. So this is more like
he shouldn't be there. The thing is, he's doing really well, Josh, but he shouldn't be there. He should be near where Verstappen is. So fair play to him for making these great moves, but he shouldn't be where he is, but I think
Piastri passing.
Piastri trying to unlap himself.
Yes, because that's not a position. That's just him. That you are right there, Jess. It's don't even know why we're bothering looking at that replay. This is Tsunoda. What's he done? Oh, get on the grass, and Tsunoda nearly in the wall. Down at turn 8.
Good car control.
Yeah, Bico to Paco, and he nearly lost it. And look, now this is Hamilton running wide. Perez through Magullo, getting a bit of a slipstream as we're coming towards Zheng Cao. And Hamilton now is going to have to really put the pace on up the hill, because I think Perez is going to have another run. We run driver's eye with Sergio Perez on the run in towards turn 1. And look at it, it's going to be like a magnet pulling him in now. DRS is going to activate. Maybe not into turn 1, maybe into turn 1. Hamilton's have to go amazingly defensive. Perez is going to lunge in on the inside line, and that is beautiful from Sergio. Hamilton could do nothing about it, but now Hamilton will have the DRS down the retroposter. Get away from the fans, get onto the action, you stupid TV director. Get off! Go onto the car! Because look at this! They're side by side! Hamilton trying to go on the outside, didn't work out. They were side by side, and we missed it. You stupid TV director! As Hamilton tries to get through. Up now in towards Ferradura. Hamilton on the outside line. Perez defending the inside line. Lewis is not a friend of the Red Bulls in this part of the track. He took Albon off here back in 2019. Great stuff from Perez there. Great battle. Just wish we could have seen it.
We didn't see it.
No, because we spent...
we didn't see it.
We spent 9 seconds looking at a Mexican man cheering when we should have been seeing the race.
Oh, don't worry. We'll see it in a replay, Joe.
And by the way, they were rubbish at the Mexican Grand Prix as well. We know how Tomo reacted when I was watching the reactions. In the last lap, I think it was. And by the way, Daniel Ricciardo is been asked to help his teammate who's a lap ahead of him.
Thank you, Sky Sports F1. Didn't think I'd say that, but I've just looked down at the battle channel and they were showing the two onboards together. Hamilton got forced off the track by Perez, and Hamilton now comes into the pit lane after screwing up his teammate's race, acting like a baby on social media and into the journalists as well, saying that the car's not good enough and that the tyres aren't good enough, and Crybaby comes in and changes over. Lewis is really disappointing me this weekend. Selfish as always at the moment, and really being a paddy. He doesn't complain when the car's going well, he complains when the car's going bad, and he's got no team ethic at the moment. He's just really annoying me. Really, he's always here. It always is in countries where his ego gets inflated. British Grand Prix, same thing happened. Go back here in Sao Paulo, ego inflated. America, ego inflated. It's always in countries where the fans adore him and his ego just goes way up thanks to Team LH. Really annoys me. Here's Norris Radio.
Let's pick up the pace a little bit. Let's pick up.
And there's a good Brit. Right, go on. Oh, thank you, Lisa.
This is whining. Oh, it's the okay, thank yous as a team acquiescing to Lando Norris. Is the real crybaby here. But anyway, no one will care because he's doing well. But anyway, yeah, I think that's a bit harsh on Lewis in my opinion.
A little bit harsh, but it was really...
The thing is with DRS trains like that, is it's not a sustainable position if your teammate's only just keeping ahead of the car behind them because of the DRS. That's not going to be the case forever, especially with pit stops.
Box for Russell.
In the race. Now Russell coming in a lap later, so he's almost certainly going to come out.
It's the tyres.
They're trying to undercut Perez here, aren't they?
So Russell turns in, gets over from a medium compound, nearly runs into the Alpine mechanics. That was a bit close.
Right.
So where is Hamilton? He's coming across the line now. There is Hamilton into turn 1 of the centre S.
Hulkenberg.
No, it was Hulkenberg.
No.
Now that's Hamilton.
That's what I'm saying. Hamilton ahead. And now he's going to get through. And yeah, Hamilton has now overcut Russell. So, yeah, that didn't work.
Well, he's undercut him.
Oh, you mean undercut Russell?
Yeah.
Yeah. This doesn't work, does it? Mercedes.
So that means the undercut could be powerful, but...
Here's Hamilton.
Got a problem with my left front, it's starting to steer right. Okay, copy.
Oh! What a
Lewis
shame.
is going to come in with another radio mess in a few laps. I got a problem with my right front. It's starting to turn left as well because the tyres are turning into each other.
Well, Hamilton, hang on a minute. Hamilton had a retirement in Qatar, and I've missed that on my notes to cross out. So I'm just going to adjust that now.
Yeah, Luke's turn 1.
Yeah, I just
that one.
Box for someone there. It was Perez. Box. Yeah, I missed that on my notes actually. Where is Hamilton? There he is. NC. Yeah, it's his only retirement of the year, wasn't it? In Qatar. Sorry,
Perez pit stop.
2.22. Oh well. Again, how quick can Red Bull do a pit stop? As quick as it takes me to put an X on Lewis Hamilton's name from Qatar. Technically, Lewis has had 2 retirements this year because he got disqualified from America, but he did retire in Qatar.
I have to say, Red Bull are doing really well this weekend, and I think Perez's rubbish qualifying is definitely forgotten with him having some good race pace. I kind of wish he can get up there.
Oh, look at this. He's come out in between the 2 Mercedes. So the overcut has worked. As you said, Jess, it'll be powerful. So Perez is a second clear to Russell. So, okay. So Russell can't help Hamilton in terms of the championship. Wow, okay. This is interesting. This is what we mean. This is an interesting race. By the way,
I wonder if Mercedes might have the free stop here as
I'm
well,
thinking the same.
given they've had to come in so early.
I'm thinking the same.
Carlos Sainz has understeer at turn 5, oversteer at turn 8.
That Ferrari is also a piece of work at the moment. Oh, Chris Metland's just said.
But yeah, but at least they're doing their strategy right, and their driver and Sainz is not complaining.
Chris Metland's just said, not the
He's
greatest.
complaining, we're just not hearing it in the broadcast.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Chris Metland's just said, not the greatest directing, cutting away from Perez coming out of the pits in a nip and nip tuck fight with Hamilton. Hamilton is ahead, but perhaps with a problem. And here it is. So, yeah, Perez is on again. Right, this time, can we please stay with the pictures, you stupid FOM directors? Just stay on. You've been in some amazing shots, but here you're stupid.
DRS.
I think we follow them. We should do a race. Don't worry about them. You've got the pace.
You've got the pace.
Believe it. You're in a Red Bull, Sergio.
But believe your engineers, Perez.
Don't get in your own head. You're driving a Red Bull. It's the fastest car on the grid right now. Just get through. Hamilton's got a problem of much fresher tyres. This should be easy peasy. Shouldn't be this complicated. So Hamilton...
I can understand that from Perez though, because he's seen his teammate and pretty much everyone else in the top 6-7 has stayed out where he's come in. So he's thinking, why are we doing something different to Max?
But that is because obviously they wanted to respond to Lewis, and that's Lewis their main rival in the championship. Box for Stroll.
So yep, Stroll comes in from fourth position, puts Sainz up the order, and now Perez will have the DRS. It should be an easy run in towards turn 1 on Hamilton on these medium compound tyres.
Should be easy peasy lemon squeezy.
There we go. Perez on the inside line. Hamilton goes defensive. Perez says, okay, I'll go around the outside. They nearly come together. Hamilton's not giving way, and he goes a bit too deep. Perez will get the comeback and have another attempt out of Center through Côte de Sol. Retroposter time. DRS will be open, and now Perez will have another go in it. Pulls to the inside line. They both go defensive. Perez around the outside line and gets them the job done before turn 4 to Cena Delaga. Perez back through. Commiserations though, but Hamilton did give it a valiant effort, but Perez, much better car going through. And Hamilton is really struggling out there. He's having to lift and coast everywhere. And Zhou's been told to retire the car. So Zhou's out of the race. Wow, 4th retirement.
Zhou's out of the race, and also we got another battle in the midfield between Lance Stroll that's just pitted and Esteban Ocon.
Yeah, he came out just ahead of him, did Stroll. So that was actually really well done by Aston there. Because I thought they were going to lose 10th there for sure.
So Ocon is 1.3 seconds back to Stroll. There's Zhou out of the race.
Let me find out the problem.
Yeah, because I can't...
From the team radio.
I've got nothing at the moment on my side of screens. There's Ocon.
Engine problem.
That is disappointing. Piastri's going to pass him now. And there is Zhou officially out of the race. So we're down to 16 runners.
Ocon's catching. Oh no, he's not. He's lost time. Okay, my bad.
So 4 cars and the 2 laps down already, yeah. 4 cars out and 2 a lap down already. This is a very interesting race. Hulkenberg says the fastest first sex time, by the way. Just to let everybody know. No, now Sargent.
No, that was Sargent, not Hulkenberg.
Yeah, what was it? It just disappeared, but it was a 19 something or other in that first sector. Sorry, on one screen
19628.
As on one screen it says Hulkenberg, on one screen it says Sargent. So I'm going to trust the multi-viewer more with that data.
Yeah, I trust multi-viewer, not going to lie.
So no one's got the DRS at the moment either, as Verstappen leads. Well, now this is interesting. Russell, we are going plan B. So I think that's the 3-stopper, as Ed suggested earlier on. Makes most sense, doesn't it? Because then you get 2 sets of softs later on. Oh, and Verstappen running over some debris there, blowing across the track. Hope it was a leaf. But at the moment, we're all waiting on our first pit stops. Arguably, there are a couple of laps. Well, for the top 6. We're waiting because arguably the red flag has put him on a bit as Stroll will breeze through on Russell, and he's through. Stroll's past Russell into turn 1. And he'll do the same to Hamilton as well. So Mercedes are French Connection UK'd. Just rearrange those letters.
French Canadian.
Yeah. Oh, is it French Canadian?
I think one thing I can tell Mercedes after this race: sort your straight line speed out in Brazil.
The W14 isn't just going to be obliterated; it's going to be burned at the stake like Guy Fawkes when this season's done.
Like the Ferrari clutch pedal.
They got bloody hell, Josh. They've got 2 more rounds to go.
Oh, they're sick of it. They may as well bring back the W13. Let that one run a race. Here at Sao Paulo.
Yeah, the W13 is a lot better than the W14.
What about the porpoising?
Nah, I still want to race. Vegas will be interesting there with the proposing of that car, wouldn't it? A long straights there, my God.
From Alonso. Alonso comes in.
Ted.
Optimistic.
Ted's in the pits.
Optimistic. So yeah, McLaren looks like they're going to respond the lap after. So they really need Aston need this stop to go well. It does go well, and it looks like Lando is going to come in. I think what they want to do is minimise the time on the medium tyre, Crofty. Oscar Piastri's been asked, "What's this medium tyre like then, Oscar?" He's saying, "Not great." So the soft tyre really is the lovely race tyre today.
2.8 seconds for Fernando Alonso there, but it was a really slow stop coming in. Alonso looked almost like he was crawling in at one point, just not paying any attention to anything out there, as that was a team radio.
So he's been cautious with a pit limiter maybe.
Ah, yeah.
An entry.
Yeah,
yes, he's pitted.
Right, he's on to 2-lap-old soft compound tyres. So he's on an old soft. Well, they've got no new softs left, I suppose. That's why it's changed.
Yeah, none of them do.
And the red flag.
Yeah, the red flag that changed them as well. Stroll uses DRS to clear Russell. We knew that a while ago, but that's it now. He's 5 tenths back to Hamilton, so he'll have DRS in a second. Really bizarre Grand Prix, this. We're just waiting for the top. Good Tsunoda's 5th. Gasly's 4th. Let's just rectify that for a second. It's a really... Oh, and there's Sainz boxing from 3rd. So Sainz comes in, as does one of the Alpines of Gasly, as does Tsunoda. So 3, 4, 5 in. Alonso goes from 5th to 4th and up to 3rd. Good stop there from Sainz. Oh, and it's an unsafe release. They're literally side by side. Don't cut to that as Sainz was released into the path for Tsunoda. Tsunoda coming into box, and Sainz almost making contact there. So an unsafe release from Ferrari. Yeah, hold the brake.
And
Watch
Stroll's
the
beating
traffic.
Hamilton.
Yeah, Stroll's ahead of Hamilton into turn 1. So Stroll's got ahead of Hamilton, and Hamilton can't fight back. So Mercedes really, really struggling here. And Hamilton, some smoke coming off from the front left there, as we see Sainz down in 9th position. Gasly in 12th, Tsunoda 13th. Verstappen box. Now, if I was McLaren, I would come in this lap because you've got the gap to Alonso. You don't want to lose it, and that's exactly what they've done. The 2 leaders come in together, so it's up to the mechanics. Verstappen leaves on a set of mediums. Norris is right there, comes in ahead. So they've got 27 seconds to Alonso. McLaren onto mediums. It's a good stop, and that was the right call from the strategy department because Alonso's just coming round super to boxes now, and Verstappen and Norris lead the way at the front. So it's a 2-horse race, and the gap remains around about the same. Brilliant.
About 2 seconds, Lando Norris led the Brazilian Grand Prix.
Yeah, a little bit.
Norris on softs.
Norris is on softs. Oh, hello. Norris is on softs, and this is Sainz on the unsafe release. He was being told to hold the brake. Here he comes alongside, and there's Tsunoda.
Oh my God, it was unsafe release.
That'll be investigated for sure. Now, did the light signal get looked? Well, I don't even think the guy doing the lights was looking at the traffic. He was looking at the car when he pressed the green light. He was not looking at Tsunoda.
I think that'll be a fine, won't it?
Yeah, no, it'll be a drive-through. It'll be a penalty for Stroll, not just a fine, because the guy wasn't looking when he pressed the green light. So it'll be a penalty. And now look, Russell's under Russell's having to attack Hamilton, but Hamilton was with a problem here, and he's holding him up. Mercedes, stop it!
I wonder that's why. I think Lewis is struggling. He's 2 seconds down on everybody.
And look at the rear tyre on him. He's gone already on those mediums. Right, I want to go into a room with Toto Wolff and beat him and just give him a punch in the face, say, stop being pragmatic. Stop it. Stop favouring Hamilton. You've got George Russell, who's got a better car today. Let him through. Stop giving in to Lewis's crying. It's really annoying me here because it's been like this for the past 5 races. Whenever Russell's quicker and Hamilton's ahead, they just don't move, and it affects them both. Toto Wolff, in my opinion, has completely lost the management skills at Mercedes. He's no longer a good team principal. In my opinion, Toto Wolff is not fit to lead Mercedes. And look, already half the team are leaving because of it as well. Mike Elliott's just in his last week announced he's going. James Vowles is doing brilliantly as team principal at Williams. He should be team principal at Mercedes. Toto is being stagnant.
Because of Toto Wolff though, or is it just trying to move on?
Apparently Toto and Mike had a bit of a falling out. That's what I've been hearing in the paddock. And Mike...
that explains maybe that, but...
Yeah.
There was obviously the shuffles behind the scenes, wasn't it? Like Allison and Mike Elliott were sort of swapping roles.
Yeah,
and stuff.
they had a fight as well.
That's what it was.
Basically, I think it was Allison Wolff and Elliott who had a fight, and Elliott's gone. But this is ridiculous. This is painful to watch.
On Ocon.
Oh yeah, this is
just
good.
Came out behind. Ocon undercut them, so Ocon's on much older tyres and it's easier to have time. So he might have a penalty coming as well. And that unsafe release.
I'm thinking Russell's going to be let through here. He's not happy. He's really not happy. Come on. Lewis has got a problem with the front left of the car. He says it's turning right. Russell's so much faster than him.
I feel like you're very biased in favour of Russell in this commentary.
Well, even to be fair, sometimes I'm having a go at George for doing stupid manoeuvres. It's just today, in this instance, Hamilton is clearly not the faster driver. And from a team principal point of view, this makes no sense. It does not make sense with... You've got a faster car in Russell being held up by a car that's got a problem, and a driver who's
timing's wrong, by the way. It says, oh no, it was Russell inside 3 seconds. Okay.
Yeah, and we've got Hamilton who's nursing a problem. He's not quick, doesn't like the car. He's been moaning all weekend about it, slating everybody off.
Is it just the tyre wear?
Tyre wear. Tyre wear's not great. The floor's not great. They've got no top speed. And Hamilton's been complaining about it all weekend long. But Russell's been able to work with it better than Hamilton. Why can't Russell just overtake with DRS? Because he's been told not to.
I feel like you're complaining about two drivers just racing each other because they happen to be in the same team. That's my view on it.
Russell can't.
I think they don't want to repeat of Qatar. That's probably why.
Because Russell's been told in the radio, you're not allowed to fight. So until Russell gets confirmation that he can go through, he can't overtake. Karun.
Not been a good race, but both Mercedes just struggling for pace. They are now 6th and 7th with 3 of their customer cars in front of them and dropping backwards. Last time round, half a second slower than Sainz, 3/10 slower than Lance Stroll. So yeah, terrible weekend for the Mercedes duo.
Thank you, Karun. Just proving our point. Turin says, disregard team orders, do a sight on Merck. As Gasly passes the inside line of Sargent for 11th place, even a cheeky look over as he comes towards the centre rest. Nicely done. Hamilton's disregarded team orders all his career. So Russell should start doing that. Russell needs a bit of a backbone in motorsport, I think. He's always too happy to play the team rules. He needs to have a go. Look. There's Russell's radio. And that is James Allison talking to him on the radio. So this will be the...
It's probably tactics.
Yeah.
I think it was press.
Oh, James Allison's looking different these days.
Is it James Allison? Who is that on the board? Is it
It's Russell's engineer.
Is that Andrew Shovlin?
Yeah,
is it Shovlin?
It looked more like Shove.
Yeah, so it's Shovlin. Sorry, it's not Allison, it's Shovlin. Hard to tell from that angle of the pit wall. So yeah, it was Andrew Shovlin, you're right. I've got my two mixed up there. James Allison's next to Toto, I believe, in the pit wall. As we look at Esteban... Hold my words.
That's Gasly.
Yeah, Gasly. Going around the outside line of Bottas in towards turn 1. I got confused because Ocon was alongside them on the driver checker, but Ocon's coming to the pit lane. That's why I got confused.
Again.
Yeah. So Gasly passes Bottas.
Look at Sainz.
Sainz is really closing in on the 2 Mercedes now. Hamilton's 2 seconds back. So this is no longer good. just so annoying. I think
The problem is, if Russell gets through, there's no. I don't think Russell would even be going quick enough to catch Stroll. I think
That's
the
what I
main threat
said.
is being DRS here again, so that they can keep Sainz at bay.
Perez is picking up to Alonso, says Turin, you're right, because he's closing in. In fact, where's the Twitch chat? I've got that up somewhere to see if there's anything coming through there. No, there isn't. Okay. No worries, just always to keep that up. Anything on USRN as well? Hello, everybody listening in. That's it from Russell.
Nothing on you. Nothing on USRN chat.
I thought it was quite obvious who had a pace. Just sat there behind the tyres.
Russell's getting angry. Yeah, Russell wants through. Russell wants through, and he's not being let through.
I thought he was for a second then. Bloody hell.
Hamilton won't get out of the way. So
there's an easy way to get through, and that's to overtake.
Lando's just gained 2 tenths on Norris. Sorry for the question there, Eddie, but in that last second. Go on.
Yeah, anyway, I just this idea that the only way to overtake is to be let through by a teammate seems to be a little bit ludicrous, especially with DRS being so powerful here. I know they've obviously got the same cars, but yeah, this is either way you look at it, this is a bad situation for Mercedes, and it's getting worse with Sainz closing on them lap by lap.
Sainz reeling them in, and the gap now 1.1 second, but less than that now. It's 1
It's
second.
going to be in DRS soon.
And Sainz will breeze through easily on these two. Absolutely, and now it's within a second. Hamilton is costing.
It's going to be a double overtake. I'm calling it.
Yeah, you're right. Hamilton is costing Russell here big time. Absolutely big time. This is the one time. Well, it's not even that. We've seen it so often the second half of this season. Hamilton just not playing team games. It's like he's out on his own. It's like he almost thinks he's working with Rosberg again. He's not. He's working with Russell. To be fair, I thought
Worked together well at Singapore until Russell crashed out of it.
it was, yeah. Russell was ahead of Hamilton that weekend, and maybe that did more damage to their relationship than led on, because Hamilton thought he could have gone further, but the team let him through. So it does. In Singapore, I was criticising Russell for not letting Hamilton through. Here, I'm criticising Hamilton for not letting Russell through. And look, they're sacrificing time. This is big.
I think it's the team then, not the drivers.
Nah, it's both. It's both, in my opinion. But look at the Constructors' Championship, because Ferrari, if they get through here, they're going to score more points than the two Mercedes. Because if they're going to drop outside the top 10, Sainz could score more points than the two Mercedes combined.
That's a big if. I'm not sure Gasly 6 seconds down is going quite quickly enough to catch the Mercedes just yet, but we'll see.
Well, look at the tyres.
You never know.
Hamilton.
With the tyres.
Lewis, you were struggling since the minute you got in that car today. Just let it go. The tyres are struggling, cars no right. There's always something else is going on. Russell's dropped back now as well. The gap now
I wonder if Russell's struggling on tyres as well.
Gap between Hamilton and Russell now 1.1 seconds. Sainz is 4 tenths away, so Sainz is going to get ahead of Russell on this lap regardless. And that's really going to annoy George Russell as he comes through Super the boxes into the last corner at Aqua Briareus as well. And Sainz closing, and he's through. Before even the control line, Sainz goes through. Russell could do absolutely nothing about it. Sainz will also have the DRS on Hamilton, so now we've got to see if that's going to make a battle now.
I don't think he's going to do it this lap, Josh. I think he's going to do it in the next lap.
Down we go. Yeah, not this lap. Next lap, next time around. For sure on that one. This is horrible to watch for Mercedes. They are really struggling and have been for quite a while.
It is hard to watch a team that was dominating the sport to now struggle like this.
Still going to score points though. I mean, try being a Williams fan. That is a fall from grace.
Albon's out and Sargent's in 12th. Sargent could get points.
To be fair, Williams are doing better than expected this year. We thought
That's
they were going to be
very
rubbish, and they're like 7th in the championship.
Running 7th in the championship, doing incredibly well as well at the moment. So holding it together. I just realised we've got back ever since the restart. We haven't heard much from the pits. Let's go down to Josh T. Josh, been here for an easy afternoon. How are you finding this race so far? I've caught him by completely.
He's deafened.
Oh, Omi, you there? No, definitely.
He's muted.
Oh, well, this is working well. We haven't talked to them so much in the race. They've vanished as well. Sorry about that,
I
guys.
neglected them and they went off and did something else. They're probably not even watching the race.
They got balls to Mercedes.
Yeah, they've vanished.
Mercedes fans.
So, Josh is probably just watching the race and getting all the data together. coming through as well. We'll keep on cracking.
Really the big fight now, Josh, if I may rudely interrupt, is Alonso versus Perez. If we cut the Tsunoda fighting with Bottas, and Bottas on those old tyres, it's going to be easy easy meat really down into the City de Logo.
And through goes Tsunoda. Continue with your point, Ed, about Sainz.
What was the thing about Sainz?
You interrupted. You interrupted to say a
point.
point.
About Alonso and Perez.
That's the one.
Here we are, watching it on screen. Because Perez has been slowly catching, just inching towards DRS range as Norris sets fastest lap on the soft tyre. Oh no, he is on the mediums. I think it must have been an error earlier. Oh no, he changed off them, didn't he?
Yeah.
It's weird. I thought he was on the soft, but I think it must have been an error on the timing screen.
Hang on a minute. You're right. Norris is on mediums. But on every single screen it said softs. And now it's changed over to say mediums. 9 laps.
We didn't get a look at the sidewalls though. Yeah, it must have just been a glitch on the timing screen.
Hamilton's under pressure from Hamilton's under pressure from Sainz coming out of the retroposter now. Down to Tinderlager. Hamilton will go defensive. Sainz around the outside line. Cuts out very late. Breezes through. Sainz through into 6th position. Now, what tyre is Lando Norris actually on? Because on our timing screen now, it says 9-lap-old mediums, the same as Verstappen. But originally, it's included on both.
Soft.
Yeah, on the TV feed it said soft.
It might be a glitch, I think, with the timing.
Yeah, so has he been on mediums this entire time?
God, it's like commentating on R Factor 2 again.
Yeah.
The tyre commands change.
Verstappen fastest lap.
1:14.682.
Max didn't want it nicked off him, did he?
I'm having a look at Norris's onboard just to tell me what tyre he's on. He's on mediums. Norris is on mediums. So the timing graphics have been lying to us for the past 10 laps.
That's another thing that they got wrong. Oh my god.
Well, that's nowhere near as annoying as TV direction, just showing fans while a battle's going on. That's very. Well, that's Hamilton at Silverstone 2019, was it? Or was it 2020 where they? Yeah, it must have been 2019 where they were going through Brooklands and Woodcote side by side, and just to the fans. That's really annoying. That was battle for the lead as well.
So Lando Norris was not on softs; he was on mediums, and has been. It's the same. It was brand new mediums as well, the same as Verstappen. So they're actually on the same strategy, which is disappointing me because I thought Norris was going to close in later on in this stint, but it's not. So
yeah, well, it was a sensible option because he would have just ran out of tyres if he gone to another side.
Hulkenberg has been passed by Ocon.
Yep, for 13th. I hate it when that happens because it makes us like we don't know what we're talking about, but. The world feed graphics said softs.
Yeah, we never look like that, do we?
No, that's true, yeah. World feed graphics said softs, the timing screens said softs, and now they've changed to mediums. So it's not us, but yeah, did think why did he go from soft to softs? And then he had to pit again.
Yeah, that is very confusing.
It's a 2-stop race though, so we're coming up to our second pit stop soon. They've done 11 laps on these tyres, so arguably they could go possibly. We've still got 33 laps to go, so there's a long way left in this race. And Max is only 5 seconds ahead of Lando, so it's not like the usual 20 to 30 seconds we see Verstappen pull out as he goes after victory number 15.
There's still plenty of time for him to build that gap, though.
Yeah, it's plenty of time.
That is true.
He had 36 laps and he got, 20 seconds in Mexico after the red flag. And this is Ocon.
And that was the move on Hulkenberg with Ocon.
Ooh. You see how far to the outside Hulkenberg had to go there. That's really tricky because you can sort of get on the bit off camber and get the wheels sort of trapped in there and it could just send you straight on. I've seen it happen a lot of times in sim racing. And we saw it a little bit happen to Albon too.
Someone just pointed out in the chat actually, and I'm just looking at the gaps to prove that. Gasly is catching up to Russell.
Gap is 1.830.
It was about 2 or 3 seconds a few laps ago.
46.6, we can start to use the tyres, Lewis Hamilton's being told. So Hamilton's now being told he can use the tyres, but he's already complained to the team that he's losing the tyres. And he's done 20 laps on them. Mercedes.
Oh, that's confusing.
Mercedes are so out of kilter.
Maybe Pirelli just do not work well on that Mercedes at this track.
Yeah.
And interesting, Ricciardo's got within a minute of Hulkenberg, so Piastri's still only about 2 seconds behind him. So we've got both of our guys not back on the lead lap, but they're within a lap of the
Yeah,
next
they're not
car.
on the lead lap yet.
They are on the.
Doubt they're going to be able to get on it with Verstappen's pace.
They're just going to hope for another red flag so then they can get their lap back.
Or a safety car.
Safety car would be better for them. Oh, and Sargent's part. Oh, Bottas in the pit lane. That's why. So,
oh yeah, safety car. They can unlock themselves, couldn't they? As well.
Yeah, sorry,
Well,
I didn't
that's
want
in
to
the
bring
pits,
it up
yeah.
because it might give PTSD from Abu Dhabi, of course.
retire! Oh, Bottas is out. Bottas is out. Retire the
Both
car.
Alfa Romeos.
Oh.
Let me guess, more engine trouble.
Probably engine problems again. Hold on, let me check with Bottas.
Really sorry. That's all I'm seeing. Just come through. There he is.
Yeah, it just says okay. It just says okay, Valtteri. We need to retire the car. We need to slow down. Box. And then Valtteri's like, what?
Another retirement.
And this is beeping shit. Oh.
Thank you. I said the quiet part loud there, Jim. That's such a shame, though, Alfa Romeo. Don't you get the sense that they're sort of just waiting until Audi take over in, is it 2025?
Six.
2 years to go.
6.
6, yeah, another 3 years to go then. And
Yeah.
you sense that they're sort of in a holding pattern until then, with basically Alfa Romeo rumoured. Alfa Romeo know they're basically on the way out, so there's no reason to invest in the team. Alfa Romeo just seems a bit demoralised. I wouldn't be surprised to see Alfa and Haas fighting each year for the next couple of seasons could not be last in the championship.
So that's Bottas out of the race then. 2 Alphas, 1 Haas, 1 Ferrari, and 1 Williams.
Yep, so Bottas officially out. Piastri will come across the line and get ahead soon. Get that lap back. So Bottas is officially DNF'd in this race. And did I say Piastri then? I meant Bottas. Sorry, something buzzed on the table and distracted me.
He said Piastri will get his lap back and Bottas is now out, he said.
Thank you.
So you're all good.
Can't remember what I said there because something buzzed on the table and distracted me in the commentary box here. So, lap 42 of 71. We've got 30 laps to go, 1 hour and 5 to complete it, inside the 3-hour window, of course, with that red flag we had. Been in, safety car was out earlier, but... I'm sorry. I've just remembered, Bert Marlander said he had an early flight out here, and so no safety cars, so Bert's going to maybe miss his flight at this rate.
If only there was a spare safety car driver.
Yeah, where's Bruno Carrera?
Only we didn't have a load of drivers already out the race that couldn't drive the safety car.
Like with the F1 teams, they should have a reserve safety car driver.
That's very true.
Yeah, there should be a trainee. There should be a safety car junior formula.
Oh God!
Hey, it could happen though. They all get the. They all get the trainings on Thursdays, so we've got 2 safety cars here. So you could easily put another junior in.
Yeah, Marlander used to be in DTM, didn't he? So they should just get someone.
Oh yeah, we did. We did.
And just get them to be a safety car driver.
No, we don't want to see the fans, for Christ's sake.
What are they? They don't look like they're watching the race, whatever
No,
they're doing. Unless they're looking at a screen or something.
I know, but there's Gasly battling Russell. We want to see that.
So Gasly's
To
now.
be fair, that's only just about to happen. So the TV director behind that artistic helicopter shot, right? We talked about this, didn't we, during the Formula E season? Remember Cape Town, when they were doing these arty helicopter shots, right as the race was going out of, of course, yellow, or, you know.
Yeah.
Really annoying.
Yeah, that was a little bit annoying because we missed the very, very start. But yeah, I think it's not just Formula management that do it. Formula E do it. Loads of other racing series do it.
Oh.
And look at this, Russell's going to be a second.
Easy pass, I think, for Gasly.
Easy. Round the outside. Gasly's through into 8th position. Russell's tyres are DEAD dead.
And lack of straightlinespeed.com.
4 seconds to Hamilton then.
4. What's the gap? 4.1. So yeah.
No, yeah, for a 4.1 to Hamilton. So I think lap 50.
Raptor is ahead, Esteban's just been told. Don't know what that is all about.
All right.
Raptor is ahead. Is that their name for Gasly?
No idea what Esteban Occon's going about.
Maybe there's some sort of prehistoric lingo in their strat. They pick a different theme each race, and today's dinosaurs.
I think we had something like that in Mexico,
Ocon has
didn't we?
been told to stop again. Gasly said, and if we can go SOC 6, wherever that is.
8 of charge, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now we're talking
Reeds are
Formula E
struggling
stuff.
with
I'm suddenly engaged again.
For Lance, both safety car windows are open, so if there's a safety car, they can pit.
Perez
That tells me that Alonso is charging his ERS ready for an
Perez
attack
having the
from
same
Perez.
understeering and oversteering problems as Sainz did earlier.
Alonso radio.
Yeah, so we can extend a little bit, but yeah, use the pace you've got now, it's good.
Alonso also being told that the safety car window is open. So if there is going to be a crash, the history tells us it's going to be in these laps, which I think back in 2019...
That happened last year.
Yeah, it did happen last year. And 2019, it was two Ferraris coming together with Vettel taking Leclerc out of the race and himself eventually because he had a puncture. Drew says Max must be bored out of his mind. 6 seconds ahead. Yeah, he is.
George is
gap
saying
between Norris and Alonso as well. 15 seconds. So Perez is really not kept up with Verstappen's pace in this race.
George is told his engineer fronts are not working. Well, of course they're not. Gasly saying problem with the brakes, and the engineer is looking at it.
Oh dear.
Yes.
This is
dear.
a great camera on the side
That's
of
why
Alonso.
he's not catching up to Hamilton, and George is catching up again.
I agree, Ed. The sort of tilting camera around the banked part of the track looks fantastic, doesn't it? Love that.
Yeah, it's really well stabilised. It does a good job of showing you how bumpy some of these tracks are. And obviously, F1 coverage a lot, that's been ironed out.
Copy, we're looking.
That's just what Jess told us earlier. Go on, Ed.
Yeah, I sort of got to the end of my point there, but yeah, it's I think it's really because a lot of the camera angles that we love, like you think center at Monaco, and it's all at the side of the head, and it's not stabilized at all, so it's really bumpy, and we sort of look at F1 now and we think, oh, it looks so easy, but it's still just as bumpy. It's just the cameras have been ironed out to improve the TV product.
Brakes have been brakes. Brakes look okay for here. Gasly, Logan has been told to go into the pit lane, and I'm guessing he's been told to retire, but I might be wrong.
New softs.
No,
new softs.
Out.
Oh, new softs. Okay, cool. Oh, I thought he was told to retire there, but look
Hamilton
up for George, and Tsunoda's catching up.
But the cars are so bad in the air.
Wind speed is at 5.4 kilometres blowing from the south, but Tsunoda is about to make a second overtake this weekend on a Mercedes. It's going to be on George Russell for 9th position. The pit window is open for those on the medium tyres, that 46 to 52, and Russell is first in on those tyres. He did not want to spend a second longer on them. They've been giving him so
His
much
front brake
grip.
is gone, apparently.
Is that on Russell?
Probably front. Yeah, I think always front tyre. I don't know. It's either one of the two.
They've only put on used soft tyres as well. And it's a 3
That's all
second.
they've got
That's not
left.
going to last. So I wonder if they're doing a free stop.
Ed did say earlier on, would it be a 3-stopper?
Well, they've sort of got no choice because they just can't keep the tyres alive for long enough.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
An interesting race this is turning out to be. It's really confusing again. So, yeah. No notification in over an hour on race control, by the way, since the race restarted.
Oh yeah, it's last one was DRS enabled at 17:36.
Radio Hamilton.
Let's use the tyres now. I have been for the last 5 laps, dude.
So that's the radio message we
Perez
heard.
box.
Ah, right, okay. And here he is. Now, what tyre will Perez put on?
Red Bull undercutting.
Softs.
Mediums. Oh no, softs as well.
You can see red. They're old softs as well.
Yeah, they're old. Perez, come on, update. It's not updating.
Hamilton in
Hamilton's
2.
been told to box 2.
Now Hamilton
He's
again.
on softs as well.
Old. So that's all they've got left. Hamilton 3.1 seconds
Yeah.
stop. Gasly. Where is Gasly? 2.5.
In there too? Yeah,
Perez
just
3
come
lap
out.
old softs.
So Hamilton.
And so is Hamilton, and so is Russell. So yeah, they're all on the same. Yeah.
So Hamilton comes out on 3 lap old. Gasly 4. No, Gasly brand new set of soft tyres. So he had 1 left. So Hamilton's not going to have anything as Gasly comes up and exit. Ocon goes ahead. So Ocon goes to 8th place. And we're now going to see the tyre strategies really suffer here. There's not going to be a lot, sadly.
Ocon's got another massive undercut here as well, so he shouldn't be too difficult for Hamilton to pass, at least in the next few laps. But we've seen Alpine breeze past the Mercedes before, and Gasly's only about 3 seconds behind, but Ocon may try and hold him up here as Alonso hits in response to Perez.
Alonso, yeah, coming in, and this will give Perez the attack and Willis. He's right behind Tsunoda now, so Tsunoda arguably should jump out the way. He'll get a team order to do so over the straight, or maybe Perez will just pass him at such higher speed as they come down out of some of the boxes. Alonso should be leaving the pit lane now, and does so. At pit exit, Perez passes Tsunoda with ease at turn 1, and Alonso is going to get out ahead, if I'm not mistaken. So Alonso keeps track position to Sergio Perez.
Look at Tsunoda.
Tsunoda's right into, yeah, well, he's already been passed. But look at Hamilton. Hamilton now on the attack to Ocon into turn 1. That's the first overtake Hamilton's made since the first start. So Hamilton through into 8th position on equally good tyres.
He can't afford to push. He can't afford to push too much because he's been complaining about the tyres all race.
Should have gone to the hard tyre, man.
Hamilton said,
Why hard?
Oh, yeah, that's not a race tyre.
He wanted to two-stop.
He wanted track position. He's going to lose out on it now, though.
Yeah.
But as a racing driver, you always want track position because it's never guaranteed you can make the time back.
Update from Lando's engineer. They say they're happy they can keep standing and protecting themselves from safety cars. And they're doing and his engineer saying Lando's doing a great job with the tyres. That's Lando Norris.
Here's Fernando Alonso then, in 5th position at the moment, comes out of the last corner. Now he has track position 3.2 seconds to Sergio Perez across the line. He's net P3 as everyone at the front, the top 4, yet to stop. Tsunoda also yet to stop, and he's dropped down to 7th position. Arguably Tsunoda should come in now, try and gain track position later on, maybe put on those hard tyres and take them the last 23 laps. Karoon. Oh, hang on a minute, 2 seconds as the Alpine swap over positions, as Gasly is let through by Esteban Ocon and sets the fastest lap of the race to do so, 1:14.525. So Gasly
That's what the Mercedes should have done earlier.
and didn't argue enough as well. And Verstappen stands to lose grip on tyres.
Also oranges.
Yeah. So
Alpine oranges, I should say.
Verstappen is losing grip. So Verstappen, I'm just looking at him. Thank you, says Gasly to his engineer and Alpine.
Norris won 15.6 last lap. Verstappen won 15.4.
7 seconds is the gap. So Verstappen is pushing and making a couple of errors because he's trying to build out a gap for a pit stop here. But arguably, Verstappen and Norris have got a pit stop gap to Stroll here. So arguably, I would say Norris...
Both pit at the same time?
I would say no. I would say Norris should pit a lap earlier than Max. Hard to tell, but try and undercut him. Because they've got the grip to do so. So try and undercut him.
If Verstappen pits now, follow Max. If he doesn't pit anyway.
Gasly's got a run on Hamilton down towards turn 1, and it's easily through. Alpine on the soft tyres, passing a McLaren on soft tyres. Proves how much bad pace they've got. Look at that, through goes Gasly with ease. Hamilton so far back now. Coming down the Reggie Positive, had the DRS, but I think Gasly's got this one covered. Yep, nothing just into Lager. So that's really going to annoy Hamilton. Alpine, who are currently 6th in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes have more than double their points, and they can't challenge here at Interlagos. Really poor, really poor.
The reason Ocon let Gasly through is because Ocon, I think, is clearly on a 3-stop and Gasly's on a 2-stop. So there was no point Ocon holding him up at all. It's a bit of a different situation. Mercedes is both on the front.
His DRS. Still not catching him. Yep, understood, Lewis.
That must be for Tsunoda, yeah, because Hamilton was 12 seconds back to Tsunoda. And Tsunoda already passed him a couple of laps ago.
Tsunoda hasn't pitted yet.
Yeah, he's on the same strategy as the ones at the front, and this is Max again, just coming through. Max is is this Max or is this Checo? This is Checo.
This is Checo closing up 5.8 seconds behind. No, 2.1 seconds behind Alonso.
The big 11 and Sergio Perez's name on the steering wheel should have given me a heads up there, but I was looking at the helmet. Oh, and Perez a bit wide there at Justina Delaga. Just running
He did go wide.
Yeah, all 4 wheels, I think. It might be noted by the
I
stewards
think the
there.
big giveaway on the helmet, Josh, is that Perez is sponsored by Kit.
That too, yeah.
Oh, Verstappen is about to let Russell, apparently. Yeah.
He is, my God. Yeah, look at that. Verstappen on the driver tracker, Verstappen, and then Russell directly ahead of him. Can't tell the gap between them. Sainz is box, and he's running in 4th. So the gap between him and Alonso is 5.2 seconds. Alonso's just been saving his tyres. Sergio Perez has been doing the same thing. They're both on softs. They're both going to need to stop again. Another useless crowd shot at the moment to look back on. And look into the pit lane comes Sainz. That's what we wanted to see. As Alonso
And the crowd didn't look like he wanted to be on camera.
No, he didn't, did he? Like, get big sombrero. Oh, it's a bad stop from Sainz. See the sparks coming off the wheel gun there. Surprised it went on.
Yeah, let's hope it went on the right way. You can always cross-thread it easily, and that can lead to issues.
Bottas, 48-hour pit stop beforehand. Sainz leaves the pit
yeah,
lane.
Monaco.
Yeah, Monaco.
Yeah, but of course they've developed systems to sort of stop cross-threading from happening in the wheel guns, or that it can detect it as soon as it happens. They probably wouldn't have sent them out if there was a cross-thread.
So Ocon, so that releases Russell into 10th position. Ocon down to 11th, he'll lose out, I think, to Sargent 2, who's just on a 1:15.738. So Sargent will go through up into 11th position. Don't forget they've been lapped so far. If they've been greyed out, they've been lapped on your timing screen. It's the red line you need to look at. Watch this wheel gun, sparks flying everywhere. Amazed that wasn't
Yeah, it didn't look like a good stop. It didn't look like a good stop, to be honest.
Well, this isn't a wheel gun, this is a circular saw. Oh well.
Perez is catching up to Alonso. I repeat, Perez is catching up to Alonso on older tyres.
Verstappen's just said that sitting in dirty air is hurting his lungs as well. As Stroll comes into the pit lane, Alonso goes up to
lungs?
third. Lungs, apparently. That's what he's just said on the radio message. In fact, let's hear. He's on the radio now. This is what Max Verstappen had to say.
Sitting in dirty air hurts my lungs quite a bit. Just for your information.
Okay, copy that. Thank you.
So we need to get past ASAP.
Yep, so that's it then coming through on the board. So, yeah, so slow stop from Stroll there. That puts him down to 6th position. Ed Hunt has disappeared off the timing screen at the moment as well.
Yeah, we have to go and do something quickly.
Oh, is he coming back?
He should be, yeah, because he's still in the call.
Oh, okay, no worries. I'll leave it on battle screen then for a second in this one as well. So, so it's lap 54 of 71 as we come through. We'll leave it on the battle screen for a second then while Ed fixes out his things. As Verstappen, let's have a look at Lance Stroll's slow stop then, Jess. So he comes in. It must be wheel gun, so I'm thinking front left.
I'm thinking rear left.
Oh, it's front right. We're all wrong. Really slow stop there.
And it was soft tyres, and this is Perez.
This is live. This is live.
It's live. Okay, that's why it's so confusing.
Yeah, it got me confused as well. This is live images as they come down. The gap between Alonso and Perez.
9 tenths.
9 tenths, yeah, and he's got the DRS down towards the Retroposta, so they're closing in. It's a fascinating Grand Prix that is being delivered here in Sao Paulo. Oops, get that bird off the track. There's a little bird right on the entry apex line of Decina de Larga. Let it fly away. So
Piastri is boxed.
Really bad from Piastri. Started 10th, dropped down to 15th. Was involved, of course, in that crash at the red flag. So losing out again on time and position. Hello, Ed. Welcome back.
Yep. Hello. Sorry, I was just checking that because I thought I heard someone call my name, but they didn't.
No worries.
About 10 minutes late. So I might miss a couple of laps.
We won the battle screen. It was all good.
Yeah, we're through to battle. It's fine. So this is lap 55 of 71. 17 laps to go. Ocon's on the
I'll just call Ocon.
Yeah. Oh, Ted.
You know, a well-timed safety car, a cheaper pit stop than the 21 seconds it costs, might transform this race. We're not getting one at the moment. Let me tell you about Esteban Ocon since I'm here, Crofty. Brand new set of soft tyres he's gone out. So they're great. I mean, that's the golden ticket as we're seeing today. So Ocon thinks that he can get around. I think Alpine, they're targeting where Gasly is 8th. So I think that's going to get quite tasty. I know it's quite a few seconds behind, but he's closing on George Russell very quickly now, isn't he?
Well, he is on that last lap, Martin. Esteban Ocon was about 1.6 seconds clear.
Yeah, so it's all closing in. So,
yeah, I'm not sure about this Alonso battle. I hope he can hold on though, but just not see another Red Bull on the podium. Especially Perez is really have to not qualify particularly well this weekend. And kind of kind of lucked into podiums here and there this
I have to
season.
say, Perez is one of our drivers of the day for today.
I agree. For once, I agree. Checo's been, I think, shown he's still. Sorry. There's a wonderful smell in this commentary box at the moment, and I'm going to have to talk about. It's sausages and hot dogs.
Oh, you're making me
onions.
hungry.
And it's just because there's a bonfire night stuff going on. We're doing it after the race. David's, my brother, has been cooking, and there's also a barbecue going behind the commentary box. So I've got this wonderful smell of meat in the commentary box. It's fantastic. It's like I'm in Hungary.
Sonoda's boxed.
Ah, yeah. Sonoda coming in. Honestly, it's like I'm in Hungary. You've heard George Morgan, of course, said about all the stands that sell them below the commentary box as well and how it smells. So what I'm experiencing in the commentary box, Sonoda's in, but good stop from Sonoda, but Max Verstappen is coming in now. Does Verstappen be followed by his nemesis, Norris? No! Norris takes the lead! So it's new soft tyres for Max Verstappen. As Ian Birch would say, 15 laps to go, anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
And he's going for it. Lando Norris takes the lead of the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Question is, can he hold it to Verstappen? If there's a lucky safety car here, then Lando will keep the net lead.
His teammate is going to be a cork in the box. I think he's going to help Norris here.
Yeah, because Piastri...
We've seen
Go on.
these situations before. You think Russia 2021, they would always risk it, McLaren, if there was a win on the table. So, yeah, I think they might stay out here rather than just pit and bank.
And if there's a safety car, then I think that would help them.
Oh, I wonder if Piastri's now going to try and cause a safety thing.
Oh, God, no. That would be a disaster.
Well, we all know where that leads, FIA tribunals. Fernando Alonso winning something.
Well, he'll go around giving out dollars of cash as well, like he did with Mark Priestley
Yeah,
as well.
Felipe Massa's here this weekend. He won't be happy if he sees that, because
That is true.
I have more ammunition for my case. Yeah.
I'm surprised that Martin didn't ask that on the grid to Felipe.
He'd already been getting his wings a bit close to the sun with Bernie, so to speak. So I think he just didn't feel like pushing it.
Who was that rapper? Who was he? DJ?
Oh, Alonso's gone a bit
Machine
deep.
Gun.
Machine Gun Kelly.
something.
Machine Gun Kelly. That's
Oh,
it.
yeah. So he was about the machine gun man, right?
Yeah. Well, we are in Sao Paulo. That's all I'm saying. To come into it as well. So it's that 58 of 71. Interesting fact, actually, that many of the drivers, in fact, no, correct, all of the drivers have been coming in civilian clothes this weekend because over the years, historically, there has been armed robberies. Of course, most famously, Jenson Button was taken at gunpoint back, was it 2007?
Tsunoda's past Russell.
Tsunoda is up into ninth position. He's into the points. Yuki Tsunoda is doing absolutely fantastically. But look at Sergio Perez. He's closing in. Russell says retire the car. Russell's been told to retire the car. Mercedes are going to retire. And for George Russell, it is going to be his third retirement of 2023. He was out.
I wonder if it was brakes.
Yeah, out in Australia, out in Canada. He's going to be out now here. I can't believe it. Russell will be another retirement. I wonder if Hamilton will get that same message.
Let me have a look. I'm just trying to
You'd
see
think not,
if it's an
because
engine.
Mercedes think they can desperately hold on to at least 1 point here, because I don't think Sargent is quite close enough to challenge, but certainly Ocon and Tsunoda have got the pace to do so.
Russell's
I
in.
think Hamilton will stay out.
Verstappen does a 1:14.044. The gap's still 10 seconds between them, but Lando's going to try and push his tyres for Max's to disintegrate in 13 laps. Lando's going to play the long game. Lando might try and go to the end here, you know, with 13 laps left. He might try and push it, but Checo wants to have a go on Fernando, and he's coming in towards the centre S's. Russell's out for the third time this year, and here we go again then. Saddle up. It's Mexico versus Spain.
I think Verstappen is catching up rapidly.
Yes, he is. Correction, 8.8. I was about to say he's only gained 0.6 of a lap, and he's pulled out a full second in the last lap, Jess. So you are bang on. He was 1.8 seconds faster the last lap time than Norris.
Yeah, that was the sound that you made, Josh, that said, "Ooh, that's true, Jess, but I'm not happy with it at all."
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, and he's pitting.
Yeah, it's true, but
Lando's
I'm
been
not happy.
told to box. Lando's been told to box.
Race leader into the pit lane, and Max Verstappen will take the lead back on the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. So
Good gamble, but it didn't work.
away goes soft tyres, and they're not new either, they're old. So Verstappen, that's why Lando had to stay out longer, because he's now on the same age of tyres to Max.
Right, okay, that explains it.
So Max's tyres are 3 laps old, Lando's are 3 laps old. So yeah, does he get out of bed? Who's that? That's Hulkenberg, that's fine.
That's Hulkenberg's
Perez!
lap down.
Whoa!
Oh, God!
Fernando, baby, stay cool. Trying to really throw Checo off the track. And literally Checo had to dive out the way. Now he's going to get the DRS down the retroposter. And no, nothing now. Alonso goes defensive, but no. Save it for Fernando.
Good on Alonso.
Massa was told to stay cool, not Alonso. But I digress. It was a good defense. Alonso really is driving absolutely on rails at the moment. And Sergio Perez is going to have to dig very, very deep if he wants that podium. But of course, all that speculation, all the rumours that Alonso is going to hire a hitman to destroy anyone who spreads them, they're certainly not going to be died down when he's fighting the Red Bull directly on track.
Fernando Alonso is the godfather at the moment as well as he closes in, but maybe Sergio Perez has some connections with the Mexican mafia as well as he comes through as well, trying to take the inside line, so much curb.
A lot of Sergio's early career was funded by the guy, was it Telmex?
Yes,
he used to
actually,
be
yeah.
It was like one of the richest men on the planet at one point, I think I remember correctly. So yeah, maybe certainly some powerful people in his corner. And not least his dad, who's one of the politicians in Mexico. He said, oh, I hope that he can drive Red Bull for 10 more years or something like that.
Wow.
Fernando does have
shows how much faith
Carlos.
the parents have in you, yeah. Bushel Lance Stroll had that kind of support from his dad.
Fernando does have King on Carlos on his side, of course, as they come down in towards Jacina de Largo once again, not going out. I can
He also has probably the whole of Oviedo in Spain on his side.
There's tensions currently between Spain and Mexico as this race continues over the final podiums. Hello, Amy.
Amy.
Hello. Norris has gained a lot with Verstappen. I've just had to see on the law lately.
Yeah, fastest set to 18.840.
So he's and he's 2 seconds faster in the middle. Lando's not out of this one yet, 10 to go. Lando could just pull off an impossibility. Come on, Lando. Just go for it. Just absolutely
push.
Yeah, ring that car to the ragged edge. Have you found the race?
And they're on the same amount of tyres as well.
Yeah, 5 to 5. So just push, go for it. As we quickly see Perez have an attack here on Alonso. I'll ask you, Omi and Josh T, if you're back up, what your thoughts are after this one, as Perez is going to make a move here.
Josh T is deafened again.
All right, so Omi, what have you made of the race so far?
Yeah, definitely interesting. Well, I've been watching but from far behind. I only just come alive when there's something exciting. But yeah, it's been a tiny bit boring at times, but it's also been exciting. And let's see if now Norris can keep the pressure on Verstappen.
Yeah, as Alonso and Perez still closing in together as they attack back through.
What did Perez throw on the right-hand side of his car?
Grenade.
That was probably a visor tear off. Yeah.
Josh!
I couldn't help it, I'm sorry.
Monetization!
That is true. Jelly babies. He threw jelly babies. To be fair, that's already gone when you swore earlier, Jess, to be fair. If the sidemen get away with it.
I'm clipping that. I'm sorry, Josh.
That's almost up there with Ben Edwards when he said racing balls.
Oh, why Alonso?
I remember that one. When Ben Edwards said that.
One.
I was commentating at the time.
10 seconds, Norris and Verstappen.
1:12.486 for Norris compared to a 1:14.004 on the last lap. So Verstappen faster Norris is faster by about 7/10 of a second at the moment, and he's closing him in as we see Perez again on the attack with Fernando Alonso. It's too far back. 6/10 is so much.
Ricardo's out of gas apparently.
Oh.
P9.
And he swore as well.
That is.
I'm surprised you didn't say the first bit there, Jess.
No, because I don't say the F word.
Just the S.
Sorry.
Oh, look at that bottom of that helicopter. What a wonderful shot.
And look, we tried just to show you a car there for a second. It just went, whoa, do you know, the F1 TV direction.
Vision Mixer had a bit of a seizure or something that stopped them from controlling the controls.
I honestly think that we are in Sao Paulo, of course, Interlagos, Brazil. Famous for the drug cartel. I'm starting to think that some of the camera operators here this weekend have had a son. As Megan would say.
Maybe they were partying a bit too hard the night before,
Yeah.
like a Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah.
Not feeling 100%. A bit of an off day for them.
Go on, Lando.
9.5. Come on, Lando Norris.
I think it's either Lando or his engineers is saying this is the list of the best strats as soon as I've got good enough grip.
8 laps to go, and this is currently the championship. Look at that, McLaren will be ahead by 19 points to Aston Martin in the Constructors' Championship as things stand. Aston where are Aston at the moment? 3rd and 5th. I must say, Lance Stroll has really impressed me this weekend.
Play.
Yeah, 3rd. Good results in the sprint and the quali, good results in the race. It's really well done from Lance Stroll.
And the sprint, even though he didn't get points, he was battling and made some great moves.
Yeah. And now
Sainz hasn't looked like challenging him at all today.
No.
Now Ferrari.
So I have to say, team of the weekend, I have to say Red Bull and Aston Martin.
It's just like we're back in Bahrain, isn't it, at the moment? We've got an Aston in 3rd. Go on.
Exactly. Apart from the only difference is we haven't got Perez on the podium, we've got Norris.
Coming through. Oops, that's a little mistake there from Fernando. And Perez.
He did there the previous lap as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he seems to go really wide and get a really good exit out of Zhang Zhao despite that.
And Perez takes the entry curb too much, doesn't he? So it sort of loses him, as we see a Las Vegas sign on the inside. Perez with the DRS in towards turn 1, though. Alonso looking in his mirrors constantly. There's a little lock up there for Fernando. Just a little bit of a puff of smoke off the front left tyre. Keeps it through. And Perez will have the DRS once again down the retroposter. And he's just too far back. 0.591.
So I've just been told to manage his clutch, apparently.
Yeah, well, he was complaining. Do you remember at the first start as well, he said that the clutch was breaking, and that had to then do a restart. So, yeah. And had to do the sprint yesterday. So that Ferrari's had to do 3 launch procedures on a damaged clutch. I'm surprised. And Leclerc didn't even make it, of course, to the start. Look at that. Russell, Bottas, Show, Magnussen, Leclerc, Albon, all out of the race. Just gets insane, this one.
To admit,
YouTube is lagging for me.
Yeah, whenever I see the ad just on the pit lane entry there saying, oh, Las Vegas is the next race, and it's like, Brazil's not even over yet. I want to appreciate this. I honestly don't care. We're going to Las Vegas, so what? We were at Mexico the week before, and we're in Austin. Those are great races as well. Why do we have to big up Las Vegas like it's the be all and end all? It just seems a bit like F1 bending over backwards for no good reason, just for money, I guess.
Yeah, and of course, we're being told that the costs have tripled for F1, who are hosting the Vegas Grand Prix. Vegas aren't hosting it, F1 are hosting it. And also the locals in Vegas have ripped away all the privacy screens on the bridges. They've torn them all up so they can watch all the action. So the locals make it... And to be fair, I've been thinking the amount of drama they've had, it's a 1-year deal for Vegas. And then I think that Vegas, the multi-millionaires there, will kick out the sport.
I remember when you said at the very beginning of this broadcast, Josh, you called it Autodromo Jose Carlos Palace.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, no, that's Caesar's Palace. That's next time.
It's pronounced Pache.
Is it Pache?
Yeah, Pache, yes.
I could
yes.
never get it right. I never remember if it was Palace or Pache.
Yeah, it's Pache.
Of course,
I
Carlos
can't even
Pache
see
won
any
here for
Discord chat at the
Brown.
moment. My internet's playing up like crazy. So sorry there was a brief downtime on USORAN.
No worries. It goes as one continual thing after the upload anyway. So, hello everybody. Still in the battle.
No. It was still streaming. It just there was no sound for like 2 minutes.
Oh, that's fine. That happens all the time. Trust me. In years gone by, we used to have disconnects with the audio as well. Hopefully next year we'll have a beefy computer to sort everything out. Look at this. So
I can't see anything at the moment. So I'm just getting a did you know on Discord. So I'm having to rely on your radio commentary for a minute.
I will do my best as we see Perez.
Thank you.
6/10 behind Alonso coming into Fedadora at turn 7 and 8.
Yeah, I'm seeing what you're seeing, Josh, so I'm not lagging behind that much.
Excellent.
So maybe I can help, yeah. So what else is going on? Hamilton has dropped about 5 seconds behind Gasly, and Tsunoda's about 9 seconds behind him, so Hamilton should just be fine for 8.
Verstappen responded to Norris. The last lap was a 1:13.530. That's his best lap of the race. Norris was a 1:13.323. Gap 8.277 between the two now with 4 laps to go. So it looks like Verstappen will have yet another race victory and Lando will be second. So it's exactly the same top 2 as it was in the sprint race yesterday. Will it be the same top 3 as Alonso versus Perez is the battle for third? Perez was third in the sprint race yesterday. Can he take it today as well as he continues the attack on Fernando Alonso, coming in through the Curva de Sol and then through the Retroposta. Have you got TV pictures back, Jess?
No.
Right. What do you reckon then, Ed?
Can you go onto battle screen for a minute?
Unfortunately, I think Alonso's going to hold it. Unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to go and eat dinner now, so I may have to miss the last 3 laps. But enjoy it. I'll hopefully be able to get back just before you go off there.
Right, I'm going to reload Discord now. I'll be back in a minute.
Okay. Looks like we're going to lose everybody at the moment. Thank you, Ed. If you need to leave now, we'll see you soon. Take care. So, bye-bye, Ed. Josh T, hop in if you're there. Omi, Josh T, 3 laps to go. Anybody there?
Hello.
Hello, Omi. Is Josh T deafened?
Yeah.
Omi, put your camera on for dear life, please, my friend.
Okay, one sec.
And then we'll get Josh T in. Hello. Hello, Josh T? Who's here?
Hello.
Thank you, Omi.
Hello, I'm here.
And Jess back with us as well, up here in the comms box, as Ed's disappeared to the back rooms to watch the end of this one. And he's still on board. 3 laps to go. Jess is back.
Oh, I can see it. I can see it again. I can see TV pictures.
Excellent.
I'm all good.
So Omi's come up to the commentary box with us now as Ed's dropped back. Let's say radio from sides.
Understood.
So
I wonder if it'll be a double Ferrari DNF. Omi, let's get your thoughts on the race so far. Do you reckon it could be a double DNF for Ferrari just to really make you miserable?
Yeah. It's just not going Ferrari's way as it has all season, really as well. But as I did say before, I was looking forward to coming here and watching Charles Leclerc versus Verstappen down to turn 1, but we didn't even get that.
Nope.
So, yeah. And I might not even get a Ferrari in the points. At least I'm not here for Vegas. That is what makes me happy. For another Ferrari terrible showing.
Who is going to be here for Vegas?
Vegas is me, Josh T, Adam Lemridge and Megan.
Oh, sweet, because I'm going to be in bed.
Yes. And then hopefully Abu Dhabi it will be sorted soon. But look at this from Perez, 4 tenths, 3 tenths, 2 tenths, 1 tenth. Perez to the inside line, and also goes defensive. Oh, they nearly touch, and Perez goes through. Tremendous bravery, tremendous strength.
Nice.
Perez through into 3rd position. Alonso tried to go defensive. He's got the DRS down the Retroposta. Can he put to the outside line? He tries. Perez goes defensive. Alonso doesn't go through, and they cheer. That was brilliant, Jess. And he's still there through Ferradura. Can Alonso find a way through? No.
Where was that pace from him all the rest of the season after Baku? This is amazing from Sergio. My driver of the day, by far.
And Alonso might not be over it yet as well, Omi, because he's going to keep in as much as he can.
Yeah, Verstappen's on to the final lap, but the battle still goes on for 3rd. Alonso's got to make sure that he gets a good exit and possibly fight back with a late descent into turn number 1 and maybe use the DRS down towards turn 4 as well, but he's got to keep it close to this part of the lap.
Coming through once again then, Verstappen's going to win race number 17 of the year, and he's 52nd of his career. Alonso very wide, coming out of Junção. He wants 3rd place. Alonso hasn't been on the podium for so many races now as well. His last podium position was back in the Canadian Grand Prix all the way back in June. Can he find a way through now? He's going to have attack. Perez goes defensive. Alonso tries to look around the outside line at the CLRS. He's going to square up for an attack run through Curva de Sol, down the Retroposta. It's a much better exit speed from Alonso. Perez will be there vulnerable. Alonso with the DRS. Perez blocks the inside line. Alonso swings around the outside line, and Alonso retakes 3rd position. They're side by side. Perez can't get through.
They're hanging wheels.
And Alonso goes through. Oh boy, fantastic! As Max Verstappen exits Junção and through Super de Boxes. Race win number 17. It is sprint to Grand Prix Max Verstappen dominates the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Lando Norris finishes in second position, and it's a fight to the line between Ocon and between Alonso.
I'm not seeing it.
Alonso and Perez are side by side. We need to be seeing it. Perez is coming through. Not going to work. Alonso might just do it. He goes wide. Perez gets the inside line coming out of Junção. It's going to be a run.
It's going to be a photo finish.
With the DRS as well. Alonso is right there for his first podium since the Canadian Grand Prix. Perez with the DRS. It's side by side of the line. It's a photo finish. Who gets it? It's Alonso by 53 thousandths of a second. Fernando Alonso in a photo finish at the line gets his first podium since Montreal, Canada, and the Aston Martin garage are delighted. 0.053 for third place. Brilliant race, brilliant end. That went down to the wire. Verstappen, Norris, Alonso, the podium.
Stroll as well, P5, even though he started third, he only lost 2 places, so great race from Stroll as well. So, yeah, I think the ones that have been under threat about losing their seats have performed very well this weekend.
Perez went everything, but Alonso just had the DRS, and at the line, it was 53 thousandths photo finish.
Yeah, tucking in the 16, going to the outside line, incredible stuff, almost getting it. But he just missed out there. But that was bravery down to turn 1 first of all, then down towards turn 4, crucially getting the whole car length ahead, just cutting across. So Perez couldn't be late on the brake to fire back.
Fantastic job. Yet again, mate. Well done.
Well done, Max. That was absolutely clinical once again. Well done. Another Brazilian victory.
Yeah, thanks, guys. That was, I think, a very good performance. Very nice, good race, well executed, good pit stops.
Marta waving the checkered flag must have been absolutely beside herself seeing that result. She was already nervous, but she did better than Pele in 2002 when he forgot to wave the checkered flag for Michael Schumacher that day. So it is race victory for Max Verstappen, number 52 of his career, race win number 17 of 2023, and he took sprint races. He's won 4 of those: Austria, Belgium, USA and Brazil, and he just can't stop winning. Lando Norris in second place once again. He takes podium number 13 of his career, and Fernando Alonso back on the podium for the first time since Canada. He has podium number 106 of his career. Max Verstappen wins in Sao Paulo, and the fans love him. Super Max. And the celebrations begin. It's a team on a glory run. 19 out of the 20 races they have won this season. A dominant team and a dominant car. There's Alonso back on the podium. Is Josh Tion deafened yet?
No, he's still deafened.
I wonder if he's been talking the whole race and he's been wondering why we can't hear him. That'd be quite funny. There's Alonso.
No, he can't hear us anyway, so...
That's true. Alonso there too.
Is that all right? We end in USRM very soon, 'cause my internet's being a bit...
Yes.
Nah.
Okay, thanks to everybody listening on in USRN. Next time out, it is Las Vegas in 2 weeks' time. But later on, right now on USRN, go over to join the boys for the last race of the NASCAR season. Go join them now. Thanks to Jess, Ed, Omi and Josh for the Brazil Grand Prix. We'll see you next time in Las Vegas. Bye-bye on USRN. So,
there we go.
So USRN close out. We continue here on Twitch and YouTube on JB Motorsports as we prep for the post-race interviews. NASCAR up as well for their season finale next up at Phoenix. This is Max.
What time's that?
A couple of hours, I think. 2 hours time, something like that. Here's Max across the line, taking a brilliant line flag, and the sparks going off here.
Happy Guy Fawkes night.
Yes, we're going to do that soon. Shouldn't be too big of a delay, actually, with that red flag.
No, it wasn't, actually.
We were
It's
thinking
7 now.
Yeah, we were thinking it has to be 8 o'clock when we do our fireworks, but no, it's going to be about 7:30.
Half 7?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Not bad at all.
Can we ask, my driver of the day is Perez.
Yes.
Do you agree?
I agree.
And how about Omi?
Definitely. The moves he's pulled off, even though he might have not needed it, even though he shouldn't have had to pull those moves off, still they were absolutely incredible. And it's a driver of the day. So the race was brilliant. Qualifying might be a poor, but today's race was brilliant by him. The moves he made was absolutely brilliant. But one thing he's got to work on is his qualifying. And then if he works on his qualifying, he'll be around where Max is, hopefully, at some point. Maybe just a bit behind, but he'll be somewhere near. And that's
He started low down, didn't he? He started 9th.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Really strong day.
Josh T's back, by the way.
Ah, Josh T. How have you found the race?
Good. Hello. I had to go and dog sit because of fireworks downstairs.
No worries at all.
So I was watching the race. It was a bit boring, wasn't it?
You still there?
Oh, hello, Ed.
There was some.
I'm assuming Alonso got on the podium then.
Yes.
Yes. Alonso finally passed Perez. It was a bit
Sounded more like a
boring
yes
in the
than a
middle.
no. Okay, he broke up slightly on my end.
And yes, he got the podium.
Okay, let's get out for the post-race interviews, hosted by Mark Webber.
His manager, Mark Webber, former top Grand Prix driver himself,
Max Verstappen
has the microphone.
Another victory, the 17th victory of the year. It was relatively straightforward, built off a beautiful qualifying session, which was tricky. Got the pole with that on Friday. Tell us, run through your afternoon, mate.
Yeah, I think, the starts were very important today. Both of them were, I think, very good. And after that, the whole race was about the management of the tires. I think we were good on any tire, but I think especially that middle stint, we could create a bit of a gap. And I thought that was very strong there.
It must have been quite lonely at times, though, mate. It's a long old race here, isn't it? 71 laps. Did you any mice in the machine? Your mind start to drift on other topics, or you managed to keep it all together?
It all looked quite good, but with the high deck around here, you were constantly correcting the cars, so your focus always needed to be there. But yeah, luckily it worked out great today.
So a few weeks off now, mate. Vegas. You must be looking forward to that one. First time there, street racing at night.
Yeah, it's
Pretty
very
incredible.
different to this one. I mean, a lot colder. Let's see what the track grip will do, street circuit. So yeah, new for everyone, and I think it will be full of surprises for sure.
Congratulations, mate. Another victory. Well done. Lando Norris, another podium, mate. Another podium. Well done. Thank you. Yourself and McLaren, absolutely on fire. You executed that beautifully. The starts were, it was tricky. Obviously, there was, two different starts. Run us through your afternoon, mate. How do you feel it went?
Very good. Couldn't have gone much better, to be honest. Good pace, similar to yesterday, which is the main thing, and a much better start in the beginning to get from sixth to second.
Yeah, there it is.
Which was a nice surprise, but my start yesterday was not so good, so I tried to work on it, and it got better. But then the second start, I was just a little bit aggressive on it. So still happy. P2 is as good as we can get nowadays, and for the time being, but very happy for the rest of it.
Absolutely. Was there any part of the race where you felt that there was still a chance that Max might, leave the door open for you at some point in terms of timing?
I mean, there's little bits where the tires come back to you a little bit, and then you can push on, but Max always seemed to have an answer to everything, which is a shame. But fair play to him. He drove a good race. So tough with the wind conditions and everything, but P2 is a good result.
Congratulations, another fantastic drive, mate. And cometh a man, cometh the hour. Here he is. Mate, there's no doubt about you. You just never give up. That was an extraordinary last few laps. You're under so much pressure for so long from Sergio in a far quicker car behind you. DRS who's trying to manipulate the move here and there. So run us through those last 2 laps, mate. That was absolutely special.
Yeah, for me it was like 30 laps that I had the pressure from Checo. But when he passed me 2 laps to the end, I thought, okay, this is gone. The podium is not possible anymore. But he braked a little bit late into 1 and said, okay, I go for it into 4. This is a phenomenal result for the team. We've been struggling for a couple of months already, especially the last 2 events with 2 retirements. So this podium is for them, for everyone in the factory. And we keep fighting until the last lap.
Absolutely. And just quickly about the turnaround, I just say some of the developments have been a bit tricky, but this race looks like been strong in all conditions, and it's a big result for the team.
Yeah, obviously we're still learning about the car. You know, these cars are so complex aerodynamically. So yeah, we've been experimenting a little bit to find the direction for next year, without forgetting this year that we're still competing. So happy for this result, and now to Vegas.
Well done, mate. There's life in the old dog yet. Fantastic race. Really, really special.
Now to Vegas.
There really is life in the old dog. What a performance we've had. As apologies to everyone on the Discord that we lost for a second, but kicked me out and then kicked me back in again. Let's have the cool down room, boys.
I was hoping something else happened.
No, you took it at the last corner.
That was really interesting because I thought once Checo passed it, I thought, you know, that's it.
On the podcast this week.
That first start,
Maybe the red flag was not needed.
no.
The first start was amazing.
We were going through the pit lane, so there is not much space to make exactly those spots.
It's an old style. It's an old style pit front here. That's why the red flag came out.
You had DRS the last couple of when you got past people.
Yeah, once or twice.
It was like Max's traffic. So I'm like fishy, and I just see you pulling away. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I think with two cars.
You must have DRS.
With the Alpine and Williams. I was gonna be by before 6.
It's an old style pit front here. That's why the red flag had to come out. Barrier damage, repair all the cars, get them all in. It had to be a red flag earlier on in the broadcast. If you're just joining us, Ed Hunter's back with us as well in the comms box after the last couple of laps. Just checking out with some stuff as well. Ed, what did you make at the end of it? I don't know if you saw or caught up with some of it.
No, I've not been able to catch up with the end, but I did see the timing screen that Perez was less than a tenth of a second behind at the checkered flag, so
50
I was only just
something.
right.
53,000.
It was like half a tenth, yeah.
Yeah, 53,000. And we know why George is retired as well. It was high and worsening power unit oil temperature.
Probably because he got held up behind Hamilton the entire race. He couldn't go at full throttle, just burnt the car out. Constantly, constantly in dirty air.
In Brazil, I'll talk about that down in a minute. We've got Podium.
On they come then to the podium for Fernando Alonso. Podium number 106 of his career for Lando Norris. It's podium number 13 for Max Verstappen. Podium number 96. Victory number 52 of his career. And his 17th win of 2023. Red Bull's 111th win. And podium 261. In their honour, we'll hear the Dutch national anthem. And now the Austrian national anthem for Red Bull. What a race here in Sao Paulo. It has been another dramatic one, and Max dominating at the front. The Mayor of Sao Paulo will present the trophy to Max Verstappen. The same trophy in Austria. Guess who won there as well? Nicely done for Max. Super Max only got 2 more to round out 18 or 19 victories. We'll see if what he can do. If he can make the full of it. Fabiano Eccleston will give the gold medal to Max. Out of the 16, 17, 18, 19, out of the 20, he's got 17 of them. Comically enough, no, 18 of them. As we see, maybe there's 21. Look, Mark Webber's made his way up from the post thing. Gives the, as a Rolex ambassador, gives the trophy to Red Bull. Victory number 111 for Red Bull, their 261st podium in Formula 1. And now, second place for Lando Norris. A remarkable achievement from him. That win is getting closer. McLaren are well and truly back. They are the second fastest team in Formula 1 now. One can only wonder what they do over the last time of the off-season. Fernando Alonso, his first podium since Canada 5 months ago. Quite ironic, really. As a big cheer. And now, in Sao Paulo, Brazil, in Interlagos, Arriba! Let the champagne flow on a very long and hard day. The fireworks go off for Ed's camera, I love that. The confetti flies. Fernando Alonso picks up yet another podium. It's his 9th podium here in Interlagos. Lando Norris picks up his first. Max Verstappen picks up and continues his 100% point scoring finish here in Formula 1's Interlagos race. Sao Paulo has been delightful, but next up, it's the mean streets of Las Vegas. It's a night race, bitterly cold in the desert. The strip awaits. Who will be lucky as we roll the dice in 2 weeks' time? But here in Interlagos, it has been a weekend of hope. Yes, Red Bull are still dominant, but McLaren and Aston back in contention. Let's confirm how they finished then here in the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. It is race victory for Max Verstappen. Lando Norris finishes in second. It's a third place for Fernando Alonso. Sergio Perez is in fourth with Lance Stroll fifth. Carlos Sainz finishing in 6th place with Pierre Gasly an impressive 7th. Lewis Hamilton finishing down in 8th place. Remarkably got that car to the finish. Yuki Tsunoda picks up points once more this season in 9th. That's a double points finish for him. And then Esteban Ocon rounds out in 10th position. Really impressive from the Alpine after starting 16th on the grid. Sargent finishes 11th as well, just outside the points. That's then followed by Hülkenberg recovering to 12th. Ricciardo 13th from Piastri 14th. And then a lot of retirements. Russell out, Bottas, Zhou, Leclerc even before the lights went out. And then the red flag called by Magnussen and Albon crashing at the start. Well, we'll jump back up to the comms box and have Jess and Ed's final thoughts, as well as Omi and Josh. Starting with you then, Omi, what have been your thoughts on this weekend's Sao Paulo Grand Prix and your thoughts going to Vegas?
Yep, it has been a very exciting and interesting weekend. The race was a bit boring in the middle, however, a good one. Now we're heading into unknown, the one where we're all saying that possibly someone might be able to not just challenge but beat Red Bull. So let's see how that is going to go in Las Vegas as well. Coming up back to the traditional weekend format as well. 3 practice sessions and then a qualifying and a race coming up. So it's going to be absolutely brilliant in Vegas, but Brazil's been good.
You say traditional, but don't forget, it's a Saturday race. So it's all changed.
Sunday for us.
Sunday for us, Saturday over in America.
It's normal procedures for us, but in US land, it's not.
Yeah, that's going to get really confusing. Josh T, your thoughts on this race and going to Vegas?
As Omi said, it's been a bit of a boring race in the middle. It had its ups at the beginning and definitely had its ups at the end of the race. Alonso, of course, back on the podium, people saying. I think it was Matt Gallagher even. Please tell me why Alonso does not have 100% driver of the day. Well, that's a question for the public. But, yep, next time out, Las Vegas, into the unknown, as you have said, and they will need those 3 practice sessions.
Absolutely, they will indeed. Jess, your thoughts on this weekend and going into Vegas?
Well, I really enjoyed those final moments of the race with Checo and Alonso fighting for the podium. That's just a representative that the old dogs still have a little bit of fight in them yet. So it's great. It's great to see them two fighting it out. I think if it was one more lap, Perez would have got them. But yeah, brilliant job from those two. Like Josh and Amy were saying, middle of the race boring. Sprint was good. I'm looking forward to Las Vegas, a bit of the unknown, and well, I don't like racing it in the game, but the graphics look spectacular. So I'm excited to see what it's going to be like in real life, and I'm not looking forward to it because I have to do the lap attack guide, and I hate the track. So
yeah.
Yay!
That's going to be fun.
Josh.
Yes, go on.
I don't know if you said this already because I came after the checkered flag, but Max Verstappen has broken the Hungarian Brazilian Grand Prix curse.
Yeah, he has.
I didn't say it, but you are right. Yeah, so that curse has been broken. Another one for Max to curse break as well in this year. So great spot there. I didn't mention it. I did think about it, but I didn't say it because we got interrupted by the team radios. It should be good though, Jess, you doing the lap attack. Ed, pleasure to have you back in the comms box for this one. Your thoughts on this weekend and going into Vegas for the first time? Well, third time technically in 40 years, but gone.
Well, I just wanted to point out, while we're being in pedantic mode, that what you said about Alonso isn't true because he did finish in the podium at Zandvoort, so it's not 5 months, it's been only about 4 months, I think, since Alonso's last podium. But your sentiment is absolutely correct. It's been a while since we've seen that, and I've finally been able to see Cascar. Showed a few replays of the final lap, and now it did look exciting. It's a shame I had to go home for dinner at that moment. But otherwise, really good race, I think, for everyone apart from maybe Mercedes, who and maybe Williams as well, because just missing out on the points with Sargent and Mercedes having one car retired and another just about holding on to 8th, which is not really where they ought to be. And of course, Charles Leclerc binning it on the formation lap, which we've all forgotten about. But of course, that was due to the hydraulics, not really his fault, of course. But again, just more Ferrari horrible bad luck. But as for Vegas, racing on the Saturday doesn't seem that weird to me because we're used to it from Formula E, and B, Formula One used to do it back in the 60s, 70s, and 50s, I believe. They would always race on a Saturday before sort of TV schedules became a factor in the organising, with Bernie Ecclestone, of course. I think it's sort of the apex of what Liberty Media wants to do with Formula One. So I have no doubt it's going to be basically Miami on steroids. And in terms of, if you're going to Las Vegas expecting a lot of overtaking like we saw at Sao Paulo today, I think you're going to be a little bit disappointed. But that's just me. Like Jess said, not my favourite track to drive either. If I did drive the F1 games, which I don't. Mercedes 400 points behind Red Bull is insane to see, because it's rare you ever see that kind of dominance, and with the point system we got at the moment, it really widens the gap out even more. But I think the last 2 races should be certainly interesting, if not particularly spectacular. But I've really enjoyed Brazil. I thought that was going to be a really, really good one. I think it did for the most part.
Thank you, Ed, and you are right, because to me it looks like a 12, but it's fastest lap and P2, because the FIA really need to improve their little graphics on their data sheets.
Fonts are not great, are they?
Yeah, the graphic is the font needs to change. Just pop that back on the wall there on the commentary.
I realised my dark green jumper looks a bit like an Aston Martin uniform.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. So you were clearly on the right team. So was Jess with.
Well, my other option was old McLaren gear or like Formula E team gear. And most of those teams seem to change every year as well. Like Neo are now ERT for some reason.
Yeah, they are changing. Anyway,
at least I didn't buy Mercedes gear after they announced
Fireworks!
Yep, they are everywhere. I can hear them over the back. Okay, my thanks to you, Ed. My thanks to you, Jess. My thanks to you as well, Josh T. and Naomi, for being in the pit lane in the box this weekend. My thanks to everyone for joining in this weekend. It has been yet another interesting race. Max Verstappen wins for the 17th time this year, 52nd overall. Over 3 hours we've been on air. We're tired. Thanks for your company. We'll see you when we go racing on Saturday in Las Vegas. Will anyone be lucky to stop Max Verstappen on the strip? We'll see you in Vegas. Bye-bye.